This is Marv Albert along with Mike Hafner, and we're set for the Houston Oilers at 8 up and 3 down. They've won 5 in a row. After losing to Kansas City 21-20, they have been on fire. Last week, they beat the Bears in Chicago 10-6, and they are on top in the AFC Central. The Jets at 2-9 last Sunday, blowing a 17-3 lead, losing in Denver. The Jets receiving, and Hopper on the reverse for Ken Shea, and Shea out to the 30-yard line. The Jets winning the toss, receiving. Hopper for Shea, hit down by Edger Armstrong, the backup running back. As you look at that Jet backfield, Richard Todd with Scott Durking and Kevin Long. The receivers, Wesley Walker, Lamb Jones, Jerome Barkham, Walker and Jones catching their first touchdown passes of the year last week in Denver. And a switch on that Jet offensive line. Guy Bingham making his first ever start at guard, and Stan Waldemore is starting at center. And as you can see, a Houston Oilers specialty team player is down, number 47. Ron Coleman, backup running back, shaken up on the kickoff coverage.
Watch very closely for number 44, Tom Newton of the New York Jets, and watch what he does to Ronnie Coleman. Hello, that is not the way to start a football game, getting your brains beat in. This is going to be an interesting game, Marv. Will the Oilers be looking past to that meeting against Pittsburgh, and will the Jets act like a 2-9 team and fold at the first bad break?
All right, 1st and 10 for the New York Jets from the 28-yard line, and Todd will throw on 1st down. He's looking long for Barkham. Jerome Barkham, the tight end, covered by Greg Stemrick, making for a 2nd and 10 back at the 28, and that had to surprise the Oilers. Who would expect either Lamb Jones or Wesley Walker going deep. Houston defensive line with Doris, Kennard, and Bethea. Solid linebacking core. Darrell Hunt taking over for the injured Art Stringer. And a solid secondary for these Houston Oilers. J.C. Wilson, Greg Stemrick. The corners, Vernon Perry, Mike Reinfeld. The deep man, Jack Tatum, has played a major role in coming in as the 5th defensive back. 2nd down play for Todd. Completes for the 1st down at the 45-yard line. Derek Gaffney, who has been a forgotten man right throughout the season, stopped by the left quarterback, J.C. Wilson. Gaffney did see some action after the injuries to Jones and Walker. As you take a look at his stats, and Gaffney earlier this season, Mike, very unhappy about not getting the action.
I'll tell you, with Lamb Jones and Wesley Walker, you're going to sit the bench for a while. You've got to do it. At least he's playing. I'm up here in the booth. I'm not playing anymore.
16-yard pickup for Gaffney. 1st and 10 for the Jets at the 44-yard line. They go to the running game, and Todd is able to cover up. A mix-up between Todd and Durking.
With the changes in the rules that has legislated really pass defense out of the National Football League this year, I like to see teams throw on the running downs and run on the throwing downs. Here the Jets are running on 1st down when Houston expects it. Richard Todd, I think, starting out with passes, forgot about the running game and really forgot the mechanics of the handoff.
And as we have seen throughout the season, the best passing down this year has turned out to be 1st down.
You've got to get them when they're not playing pass, because they lay back their ears and just come after you, and most quarterbacks are standing on their toes before they get them off.
Houston playing pass. Tatum has come on. 2nd and 11 for Todd. And again, it was mishandled. Stan Waldemore starting at center today, moving to center because Todd is more comfortable.
There's no doubt about it. People think that the exchange between the center and quarterback is taken for granted. There are 2 prime examples that they are not, and obviously Todd has not worked with Waldemore, and it's making a difference.
Randy Rasmussen is out at left guard. Therefore, Bingham starting at left guard and Waldemore at center. 3rd and 14. And the Jets have not been a good 3rd down converting team. Here's Todd in big trouble. Down he goes. Jesse Baker, the designated sacker for the Houston Oilers, coming up with his 5th of the season. And the Jets are stopped. second-year pro out of Jacksonville State, who was playing despite a groin injury, coming off a sensational rookie year. And as I said, he picked up sack number 5.
And Marv, there's been a rap against the 3-4 defense. They don't put enough pressure on the passer. There's a prime example of Houston and why they are very good at sacking and kind of blows the theory about the 3-4 D.
Chuck Ramsey back at his 21, kicking away to Carl Roaches and Jeff Groth. Roaches tried a short hop. Bad play. However, it is covered up by Guido Merkins. Guido just recently reactivated for special team use, and the Jets not able to take advantage of the scoop-up try by Roaches.
A silly play by Carl Roaches. Should have let that one bounce. But when you're a 2-9 football team, Marv, these things happen to you. The ball slips right out of his hands, and Houston has the recovery.
32-yard punt by Ramsey, and the Autos take over at their 32-yard line. We are 2.5 minutes in. First quarter, Ken Stabler, Tim Wilson, and Earl Campbell comprising the Houston backfield as the Oilers go to the offense for the first time, and they work out of the eye. And it is Earl Campbell with his first ever carry here in New York, stopped by number 74, Abdul Salam.
Very amazing. Earl does not carry the ball for big yardage on first down.
And that Houston receiving game featuring Mike Renfro and the 2 tight ends, Mike Bobber and Dave Casper. Tremendous offensive line. That left side with all throws, Leon Gray and Bob Young. And Ken Stabler to put it up on second down. He's got Campbell, but he's not able to hang on.
One of the things Earl said is, I want to develop my game even more. Got to catch the football if he's going to develop more. He can't do much more running. He's so awesome. But Earl carries the football most of the time, 30, 40 times a game, and he's got to learn how to catch the ball, but you do that by catching it a lot in game action, and I'd rather run him than throw it to him.
Well, it is a 3rd and 7 out of the 35-yard line. And now Houston going with 1 deep back. That's Carpenter in motion. And Stabler picks up the first down. He may have turned back the other way, though. Billy Johnson made the reception, looked to have it, and then cut back. And so he is shy of the first down marker. Middle linebacker Stan Blinka and left cornerback Jesse Johnson making his first start of the National Football League on the tackle, and they stop the Houston Oilers.
That's Billy White Shoes Johnson's fault. You must know where that first down marker is, and you've got to get the first down when the quarterback sets you up to make it. Kenny Stabler, a surgeon when it comes to picking apart a defense, and that was all Billy Johnson's fault. He's got to know where that first down mark is.
Houston's Cliff Parsley, averaging 41.3. Very fine directional punter, has had excellent placement. Will come out to punt. A notorious slow starter. They have scored only 16 points in the first quarter, and they have been outscored by the opposition 36-16. And on their first possession, they're forced to punt. Bruce Hopper is the deep man. And Parsley will punt from his 27-yard line. A 10-man rush now for the New York Jets. We have no score early first quarter. Shea Stadium in New York. Good high punt by Parsley. Hopper, penalty marker thrown, 20-yard line. And hit at the 25 and carries up to the 27. Chapman.
Holding number 27 receiving team before the kick. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
It's the rookie Jesse Johnson. Called for the hold.
Rookie mistakes, Marv. No reason to hold on a punt return. No reason whatsoever.
So the Oilers with the automatic first down. 1st and 10 at their 46-yard line. 4 minutes gone by. First quarter with no score. Here's Campbell on a reverse for Mike Renfro across midfield, and he's got the first down. Well, Bum Phillips pulling one out of the Bummerooski playbook. He really did it last week, didn't he, against the Chicago Bears? The fake field goal and Tim Wilson taking it in.
I haven't seen the shovel pass since Bronco Nagurski played, I don't think. But Bum pulls him out. He'll do it to you anytime, any place. And you mentioned the slow start in the first quarter. I think it takes the Oilers time for Earl to beat up the linebackers and defensive backs before he gets cranked up.
Did you play with Nagurski?
Oh, trying to date me again?
It is a first down for Houston at the Jet 43-yard line. Now Campbell. And Campbell is hauled down across the 40 by Stan Blanca. Right now, let's go to Brian Gumbel with NFL 80 at our studios in New York. Driven back by the combination of Mark Gastineau and Greg Buttle.
And it always fools the opposing defense when Tim Wilson carries the ball. And I think Kenny Stabler does it on purpose because he's such a great blocker for Earl Campbell that he says, every once in a while, Timmy, I'm going to give you the ball and let you do your thing so that when it comes to blocking for Earl, you'll do your job even better.
And Bum Phillips doing some shuffling. Mike Barber comes on along with Jeff Groth. That's Tim Wilson moving to the sidelines. It is a 3rd and 4 at the 36. This is what Bum calls the ace formation. 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers, and Stabler to throw. And he completes for the first down. Ron Crosby making the tackle on Rob Carpenter, and Stabler threw a bullet.
And I'll tell you, he loves Carpenter as his receiver out of the backfield in that ace formation. He got a shot after he caught it. And my coach has always told me, as a receiver, Mike, catch the football. They're going to nail you whether you catch it or drop it. The pain is still the same. And there you see Carpenter from that ace formation over the middle. That's what Kenny Stabler loves, to beat the linebackers, get in between. Watch Stabler read him. He's amazing. He is a great surgeon.
And it was Ron Crosby, the right side linebacker, providing that hard hit on Rob Carpenter. Here are the New York Jets defensively. Front 4, Gastineau, Salam, Lyons, and Klecko. Linebackers, Buttle, Blanca, and Crosby. Jesse Johnson making his first NFL start, replacing the injured Bobby Jackson, who was one of the few bright spots this season for the New York Jets. Jets actually have one of the better rushing defenses in the NFL, permitting only 115 yards a game. Here's Campbell off the left side, and thus far the Jets have contained Earl Campbell, number 93, Marty Lyons, right defensive tackle on the stop.
And again, there's that example of Earl Campbell on first down. But I'll tell you, in the 3rd quarter, you begin to ache from tackling him for 2-yard gains, and you start thinking about it. Instead of taking him on head-on, you wait for him to run by and jump on his back, and the yards start to pile up, Marv.
He picked up 3. It's a 2nd and 7. Earl Campbell out of Tyler, Texas, rushed for 206 yards against Chicago last week, a career high. Stabler throwing sliding, and it is picked. Shea will go all the way. Shea with his 7th interception. In this, his 8th game, 82-yard return, and the Jets lead it 6-0. Dave Casper, the intended receiver, as Ken Stabler is intercepted for the 19th time this season.
I'll tell you, if I was a safety man against Kenny Stabler, I'd be watching that out pattern to Casper all day. It's one of his favorite routes, and obviously Shea has studied the films. He knows that Casper likes to go to him on the out on the left-hand side, and Shea was right there, smelled it all the way. Not a very good choice by Kenny Stabler, and it cost him 82 yards and 6 points.
Now Pat Leahy with Pat Ryan holding will attempt the extra point, and Leahy 24 for 24 on the season. Continues the perfect scheme. 82-yard run off the interception by Ken Shea.
And Marv, if people don't believe that scouting reports on teams are important, take a look at this interception by Shea. That play, Kenny Stabler has gone to that well many, many times. Mr. Shea, who's having a great season, by the way, for the Jets, obviously saw some films and was right there to pick it off, and that doesn't happen often.
And it was Shea who took over for Schaefer Suggs at that strong safety position. Schaefer Amano has Kenny Stabler. He was just picked off by Ken Shea, who raced in from 82 yards away, and no question about it, he had only open field. And as a result, the Oilers trailing 7-0. Carl Roches to the 20. 23, no more. Roches, who has been outstanding, averaging 19 yards per return, stopped that time after picking up 17, stopped by number 44, Tom Newton.
Second longest interception return in Jet history, Marv, by Shea, 82 yards. I never got passes like that.
Casper, the intended receiver. And Shroy, who, as I mentioned, took over for safety man Schaefer Suggs, young man who lashed out after the Jets declined to activate Suggs, who had been on the injury list. Suggs saying the Jet organization has gone backward the past 5 years. All right, here's Campbell looking to get outside, could not make the turn. Earl Campbell taken out of bounds by Lyons and Crosby.
Marv, did you know that the last pass that was intercepted for a touchdown was by Schaefer Suggs?
The irony of it.
The irony of it, huh?
Schaefer also said Walt Michaels has absolutely no communication with the players, charge that has been leveled by other players. And then Michaels was charged by Suggs with saying that Suggs had a reputation for getting high. Michaels said he didn't say that. Yesterday, the Jets placed Suggs on waivers. That's the way it's been going for this ball club. It has really gotten ugly. Earl Campbell hammered down Greg Funnell, making the stop. So Earl continues to pick up 2, 3, 4 yards, no more.
Again, those bruises show up in the third quarter, though, Marv. And this man can do it anytime. He can go 80 on you anytime. He's that kind of back.
Earl Campbell would have to average 140 yards a game to pass by the NFL season rushing record of 2,003 yards held by O.J. Simpson. It's now a 3rd and 8 for Houston at the 26. And Stabler to throw. Intended for Mike Barber. Stan Blinka covering. And the Oilers are forced to punt again.
Mike Barber, not one of the swiftest tight ends in the NFL. But when you get open like he is about to get open, watch the great move against the linebacker. A little bit of a bump to clear himself. Now he's wide open, and oh, Michael, you've got to catch the football when he hits you there. Stabler will have a word for him, too. Maybe not a word, just a few daggers from the eye when he comes back to the huddle.
Well, Mike Barber has had an outstanding season. 44 receptions, 576 yards. The punt by Parsley, a good one. Deep and directional. Bruce Hoffer. Penalty marker down as Hoffer tried to tightrope the sideline.
Personal foul, clipping, number 37 receivers during the return. First down.
Tim Maresco of the Jets called for the clip as you take a look. 37 is the number.
Can't get him in the back. Sure is a chippy call, though. Didn't really nail him. But he was wrong, and I don't have a striped shirt on.
By first down at the 14-yard line as Kevin Long goes to the outside. Kevin Long, the 4-year running back out of South Carolina. He's been averaging about 3 yards per carry. Right inside linebacker Greg Bingham. And the left corner, J.C. Wilson, combining to make the stop. There's a penalty marker down in the secondary.
Illegal motion, number 72 offense. Repeat first down.
Illegal motion at the snap called on Chris Ward of the Jets. Of course, Michaels did have Walker and Jones earlier, and Lamb Jones has been a major disappointment. Hit by injuries recently, but had difficulties at the start of the season. All right, first down play again, and it's Kevin Long out across the 20-yard line. And right here, let's go back to Bryant Gumbel at our studios in New York. First quarter here at Shea. The Jets leading it by the score of 7-0. We have a 2nd and 3 for the Jets. And this is Long looking to go outside, close to the first down marker. Rick Stemrick, right cornerback. Darrell Hunt, inside linebacker on the left, holding him down. And he picked it up. Ball is placed just inside the 25. So Kevin Long has collected the first down. You make the point, Mike, concerning that Jet running game, and you wonder where it has all gone. Last season, they led the entire NFL. Take a look right here. Earl Campbell by himself has outdistanced the Jets on the ground.
Says it all. Just read it, folks.
First down for the Jets at their 25-yard line. They lead 7-0 on the 82-yard return off the interception by Ken Shroy. This is Long again. So Richard Todd looking to establish the running game, and he's been calling number 33 on the series. Ted Washington making the stop. First quarter score, Pittsburgh and Buffalo tied at 7. Franco Harris, 2-yard run for the Steelers. Joe Ferguson to the wide receiver Jerry Butler for 29. and a tie score.
I had Buffalo last week against Cincinnati. They never quit. Used to be the Bills would go in the tank early. Not this season.
2nd and 6 for Richard Todd and his New York Jets. Off the play action. Todd throwing for Gaffney. Incomplete. Gaffney out at midfield.
One of the problems for Richard Todd is, at least from my view, is that he floats it. When he's got a receiver open, he just doesn't really have the confidence to drill it in there. He was trying to beat the zone coverage that time with a cornerback up and the safety man taking the deep slot. And he's got his receiver open, but look at how he floats it. And he gets a little flutter on it. I used to tell my quarterbacks that I'm going to bring a shotgun when you throw me those ducks.
And that time he also overthrew Gaffney. It's a 3rd down and 6. Harper and Newton now, the running backs. 4:25 left in this first quarter. Incomplete through the hands of Bruce Harper. Right at the first down territory. Robert Brazil and Greg Stemrick covering Harper on the play, and we will see Chuck Ramsey as the Jets go into punt formation.
Here's Richard Todd, the young quarterback, as opposed to the old veteran Kenny Stabler, trying again to beat the linebackers. He did a great job of reading it. Problem is, Harper didn't catch the football. No excuse for that.
Chuck Ramsey's 2nd punt of the day earlier. Kicked one for 32 yards. As you see, he is number 5 in the National Football League. And the deep man is Carl Roches. As you look at the shot from the perspective of Ramsey, taking it from Bingham and Moody. Good hang time. Roches. Again tossed. And it's recovered by the Jets. 44-yard punt. But Roches, who tried a short hop upon earlier, continues to have his difficulties. Kenny Lewis, backup running back, a rookie out of Virginia Tech, signed as a free agent 2 weeks ago after being cut by Oakland, has recovered the punt.
What's the old saying? Once learned, twice burned? Better recover it the second time. They'd have booed him out of the stadium.
It is a first down at the 28-yard line of Houston. Scott Durking weaving his way to the 25.
There's that conservative offense again, Marv. On a turnover, take advantage. The defense was not expecting to be on the field at this point. And here they take a running play off tackle instead of going upstairs with a play-action pass. Again, we talked earlier about first down. It's the time to throw it. Roach is having all kinds of problems today. This time he just couldn't catch it. The last time he tried to make this spectacular shoestring catch. The Jets get it this time, and if they wouldn't have, as I mentioned, the fans have really jumped them. Should have had 2.
2nd and 7 at the Houston 25-yard line. Todd on the roll. And he's got Barker down inside the 5 for a first and goal. Vernon Curry, the strong safety, taking Barker down. So Richard Todd has been looking for the tight end, Jerome Barker, who in making that reception has come up with only 11 on the season.
Here's what you do with a young mobile quarterback. You roll him out for protection. They beat the blitz, and that leaves no linebackers for the under coverage, and that's when you look for the tight end. I'm impressed with Richard Todd throwing the football to his tight end today. You've got to do it to win.
But keep in mind, last week against Denver, the Jets led 17-3 late first half, and they're off here looking sharp. First and goal, Scott Durking. And let's see. No indication he is short of the goal line.
The offensive linemen make the 1-yard goal line run for you. It's not so much the running back who can dive over the pile. You need that initial surge, and all you have to do is break the plane. Right there, the Oilers were fired up, and they got the better of the battle in the pits.
Now we're talking about Ward, Bingham, Baltimore, Alexander and Powell, double tight end, Barkham and Schuler, 2nd and goal. At the 1, Todd on the sneak, and he's in. Richard Todd takes it in, and the Jets off to a 13-0 lead on the Houston Oilers. And Carl Roches cannot feel too happy about developments.
He just gave him 6 and 7 if they make the extra point, and he knows it. He owes Bum Phillips one now. Good time to put him back in to return the kickoff. He'd probably jam it for 80 yards.
That is only the 5th touchdown rushing this season against Houston. And Matt Leahy able to drive it through. So with 2 minutes and 16 seconds remaining in this first quarter, a score that will have people wondering around the nation. The New York Jets leading the Houston Oilers 14-0. 28 yards, 4 plays in a minute and 56 off the punt fumble by Carl Roaches. The big play, Todd to Barkham for 24 yards. Todd took it in from 1 yard out. And as we mentioned earlier, Houston, a notorious slow starter. They really had a horrible time of it in the first quarter. And here's Roaches. Across the 25, out to the 40. Across the 45-yard line. So Carl Roaches, the oldest rookie in the NFL at 26 years of age, out of Texas A&M, a young man who has been around. He played in the Canadian Football League, looking to make up for his previous errors with this return.
I told you he owed Bum Phillips one, and he gets one right here. The Jets' outside coverage man made the mistake in that situation. He's supposed to take the outside, and Jerry Holmes didn't quite make it. And that gave Roaches a chance to get up the sidelines, and you never let that happen to a good return man. He'll burn you.
45-yard return. Campbell is tripped up by Abdul Salam. And as you see, period by period, the Oilers in the first quarter with only 16 points on the season over their first 11 games. They've been outscored by the opposition 36-16. Jets have also had problems in the first quarter. They've been outscored 61-23, although you wouldn't know it today.
Turnovers will kill you.
Earl Campbell has carried 6 times for 14 yards now. 2nd and 8. Here's Stabler going sideline, and he's got a first down. Mike Renfro holding it in. And it's a first down for the Houston Oilers. Donald Dykes, the right cornerback, covering on the play.
One of my current heroes in the NFL, Mike Renfro. His daddy wasn't a bad football player either, and he runs excellent patterns, Marvin. He has tremendous hands, and quarterbacks love that. Kenny Stabler knows when he throws the ball out that Mike Renfro is going to catch it for him, and that's important.
There's the Jet situation quarter by quarter. 19-yard pass play for the first down, and here's Campbell, who has not been able to break one. Penalty marker down. Jesse Johnson tripping up Earl Campbell on the 1st and 10 from the 33.
Holding, number 86, offense, repeat first down.
The hold on the tight end, Mike Bobber. Mike, to this point, the Oilers have not been doing what was anticipated. That is Campbell going to the left side, trying to cross the Jets up. Here's Stabler. On 1st and 10 at the 43-yard line, the leaping catch made by Renfro, hit by Jesse Johnson. And Renfro had to come way back for that toss.
There's the master at work. First down and 20. Don't try and get it all back, and we got a penalty marker down.
Holding, number 73, defense, 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Automatic first down of the hold by Joe Klecko, the right defensive end. An up and down year for Klecko. He was hit by injuries earlier. I know that the Jet coaching staff has been disappointed in his play, although he's shown some signs.
We've got Leon Gray across from him, too. That's a handful.
And here's Campbell. Saw some daylight, but it was closed at the 35-yard line. Ron Crosby making the stop. Check of the scoreboard. New England leading Baltimore 7-0 on a 1-yard run by Don Calhoun. Cincinnati and Cleveland are tied at 7 in the second quarter.
There's a team that's not as bad as this record.
Chicago coming off the squeaker loss at the hands of the Oilers. Tampa Bay leading Detroit 10-0.
Boy, Detroit went south after opening up with 6 straight.
Clock running down, 35 seconds left first quarter. 3rd down, 7. And Stabler with much time. And it's dropped by Casper.
Oh, Casper. Let's take a look at Joe Klecko, the outside line defensive end. And again, he's up against one of the best. No chance. He gets double teamed and triple teamed. And no factor, and that gives Kenny Stabler all kinds of time.
Back to the live action correction. It is now a 3rd and 7. Penalty marker is down. This is Tim Wilson hammering his way for a first down. Abdul Salam, the left defensive tackle, making the stop, but a flag thrown.
2 fouls against the offense. Illegal motion, number 76, declined. Holding, number 74, accepted. Repeat third down.
All right, they'll do it over. The first call on Morris Towns for illegal motion and the hold on the left tackle, Leon Gray.
Maybe Klecko's getting a little bad, worse time than we think he is. They had to hold him that time.
It is a third and very long. 3rd and 17 for Houston at their 45-yard line. They go with the lone deep back. It's Carpenter, and Stabler in trouble. He got it away. Carpenter to the 40-yard line, but he's stopped by Greg Bartle.
Oh, Stabler paid for that yardage right there. We got a heck of a matchup going today. I think Joe Klecko has decided that he's going to show his stuff to the coaching staff against maybe the best offensive tackle in football, Leon Gray. Watch Kenny just gets it off, and then, oh, that hurts.
And that is the end of the first quarter, and the Jets are hearing something here at Shea that they have not heard very frequently. Applause. They lead the Houston Oilers by the score of 14. Second quarter underway. We welcome you back to Shea Stadium in New York. Marv Albert and Mike Hafner as we look at Cliff Parsley, the 4-year pro out of Oklahoma State, getting set to punt to Bruce Hopper. Parsley punted for 52 yards earlier.
Remember the fake last week?
Well, this one is for real, and Hopper lets it carry over his head, and it takes a good Houston hop inside the 5-yard line. So the Oilers with a good punt. Jets will take over. Right here, though, let's go back to Brian Gumbel in New York. Okay, Brian, a game the Houston Oilers are very concerned about. Houston coming in at 8-3, Cleveland at 7-4, Pittsburgh at 7-4. The ball was spotted at the 10. 1st and 10 for the New York Jets. Kevin Long.
Marv, the reason for the placement at the 10, it hit a Houston Oiler coverage man at the 10-yard line before it bounced down to the 4.
Kevin Long picking up a yard on the play. It'll be a 2nd and 9 at the 11. And here are the Jets up to the line. The center is Stan Waldemore. At the guards, Guy Bingham, Dan Alexander. The tackles, Chris Ward, Marvin Powell. Kevin Long, the lone deep back as they go with the 2 tight ends. And Todd to throw, and completes for the first down to Derek Gaffney. Greg Bingham and Greg combined to make the stop. So Todd getting the Jets out of the hole on that completion.
2nd down, obvious passing down. That means the Oilers are going to put on a pass rush. And one of the things that you have to do is protect your quarterback. And watch Kennard, the middle linebacker, or the middle nose guard. I mean, he's nowhere to be found. Richard Todd can stand back there and wait for his pattern to develop, and he finds Gaffney and got himself a first down. Pass protection is so important.
11-yard pickup, and the Jets first down at their 22-yard line. Again, the lone deep back, it is Kevin Long. Todd off the play action, going deep left side. And Wesley Walker with his first reception for another first down. Taken out of bounds by Greg Stemrick at the 41-yard line. A 19-yard pass play.
Oh, I like it. First down play action. That is the down to throw the football because the defense is in a sweat. Are they going to run or are they going to throw? They're not really deciding yet on what they're going to do, and that's the time to hit them. And with a guy with Walker's speed, you got to get him under that coverage.
And it was last year in the game in Houston that Wesley suffered a knee injury in the second quarter that put him out for the rest of the season. That's Lamb Jones coming to the near side. But Todd goes to the ground for Kevin Long, and it's a short pickup. Mike Stensrud, left defensive end, who has been outstanding making the tackle. Stensrud has been playing very aggressively. He's made the big play time and time again for Houston this season.
In that 3-4 defense, you need the pressure from those 3 defensive linemen.
2nd and 9.
They've been getting it. It's funny not to see Curly Culp in there and some of the people that we remember from that great Houston Oiler defense. But the 3 that they're in there now aren't bad.
67 is Stensrud. Ken Kennard taking over for Curly Colt. 2nd and 9 at the Jet 42. And the play is whistled dead. Penalty markers thrown in the secondary. Let's see. Looks like a delay of game, as you say. And here's the announcement. It is delay of game on the Jets. They pick up their 5th penalty. So they have been assessed some 30 yards. And it'll be a 2nd and 14 at the 37-yard line. Lamb Jones out to the right side. Gaffney left. Here's Durkin. Scott Durkin out of bounds across the 45. Followed out by Jack Tatum.
Scott Durkin, the ball carrier for New York. He's driven out of
Not a bad call in that situation, Marv. You don't want to try to get the entire 15 yards back, and Scott Durkin got 10 of the 15 they needed. It's a good call, even though the fans are restless here.
2.5 minutes gone by in this second quarter, and the Jets leading the Houston Oilers 14-0. They scored on an 82-yard interception return by Ken Schroy. Then Carl Rochus of Houston fumbled a punt. Jets able to recover. Key play in that drive. Todd to Barkin for 24 yards, and then Todd took it in from 1. 3rd and 5 from the 41. Todd off the deep drop, and it's picked off. It is intercepted by Jack Tatum. So Jack Tatum has come up with his 7th interception of the season. The pass intended for Wesley Walker.
Isn't that amazing? His 7th interception of the season, Marvin. He rides the bench and only plays in the obvious passing downs as the nickel back. And it's the responsibility of Richard Todd to know where that nickel back is. And I'll tell you, Mr. Tatum, the assassin, has done it a number of times to a number of quarterbacks. Richard Todd isn't the only one, but that was a poor read by Richard and it cost him.
And he has played only in the nickel-back situation and has managed to take advantage of it. A 20-yard return off the intercept by Tatum, and Houston will take over. Just established a new career high for interceptions, his 7th of the season. 9-year pro out of Ohio State, giving the ball back to Houston. 1st and 10 at the Jet 42-yard line. It's Campbell again. Funneled up, he fumbled, and it's recovered by the Jets. Earl Campbell is having a tough time of it here.
There have been a lot of Broadway stars and a lot of football players who have made their debut in New York and fallen flat on their face. And so far, Mr. Campbell has spent a lot of the afternoon right flat on his face.
He has picked up only 16 yards on 8 carries.
This is just lack of concentration. It doesn't look like the same old Earl Campbell that I've seen in the past 3 or 4 weeks. An excellent hit that time by the linebacker, Greg Buttle, and he was the one that forced the fumble.
3rd turnover for Houston. Here's Todd throwing deep on 1st down, looking for Wesley Walker, but overthrows. Walker followed step for step by the left cornerback, J.C. Wilson.
I still like it, though, Marv. On a turnover, the defense is not expecting to be out there. Why not take a shot at it? Go for the whole ball of wax right off the bat. And I like the way the Jets started after that turnover.
It'll be a 2nd and 10 for Walt Michaels and his New York Jets, who lead the Houston Oilers 14-0. 4 minutes in, second quarter. So Houston turning it over for the 3rd time this first half. Lamb Jones is left. And Derek Gaffney to the near side. Todd on 2nd down. Through the hands of Johnny Lamb. Stembrick and Hunt covering on the play. So Johnny Lamb Jones, the rookie out of Texas, a one-time teammate of Earl Campbell, not able to hold on to that bullet.
You know what happened here, Marv? He heard the footsteps. He knew he was going to get nailed, and he just lost his concentration. That'll happen to a rookie receiver. And again, you might as well catch the darn thing because you're going to get nailed either way. And it hurts a lot less when you catch it for a 1st down.
Earlier this season, Lamb Jones had trouble with his pass routes, and Jet coaches felt he was really putting too much pressure on himself. He has been a major disappointment. It's a 3rd and 10 for the Jets. And Todd being followed by Stensrud, now by Doris. looking for a receiver. He can't find anyone. He won't throw it away. And down he goes, and he fumbles. But the play was whistled dead. Penalty marker has been thrown down. Todd could not find anyone and refused to throw it away.
You pointed out two mistakes. First of all, the receivers, when you got your quarterback scrambling around, your job is to get open to protect that quarterback. And number two, Richard Todd should have thrown that football away, as you said, Marv.
And the flag is down. Todd lost 19 yards on that play if it stands up.
A little yellow flag down there is going to tell the story, though. I've got a feeling it's pass interference against the Oilers.
Bump Phillips is out on the field arguing, which is a no-no.
Yeah, he's not very happy at all. He's being told to get back off the field, too.
Bum is in a rage.
Illegal contact. Number 32, defense, while the quarterback is still in the pocket. 5 yards, automatic first down.
What happened on that play? An illegal bump while Richard Todd was still in the pocket. You only get to banging once. Look at the time that, here's the great mobile quarterback who gets all the time in the world. Now, one, his receivers are wrong. Somebody's got to get open with all that kind of time. And then two, why didn't Todd throw it away when he was in trouble? Could have thrown it out of bounds. Nobody would have cared.
The argument was with the line judge, Jack Petty. So it's a first down. Another penalty marker thrown down as Kevin Long is stacked up. Bum Phillips in a rage with Petty just a moment ago. Greg Bingham and Darrell Hunt combined on the stop of Long.
Up with a first down, and Bum steaming because he's down 14-zip. And this isn't the kind of club that comes back from a big deficit either. They're really not an explosive club. They don't score over 20 very often.
One man was legally in motion. Number 80 moved, while the other man was still moving. Makes it a new eagle shift.
We're getting a dissertation, huh? There were 2 or 3 people that moved illegally, is what he was trying to tell us.
We get an essay
Yes.
from Gordon McCarter. It'll be a 1st and 15 for the Jets. They lead it 14-0. We're early second quarter. And Todd on the play action puts it up. He's got Kevin Long at midfield. He is short of a first down. Robert Brazil, Greg Bingham make the stop. This is a game the Oilers want, going up against a club that has won 2 and lost 9, because next Sunday they're home for Cleveland, and then they're home for Pittsburgh on Thursday, December 4th. December 14th, they play at Green Bay in the final regular season game, December 21st, home for Minnesota, but they are looking to Cleveland and Pittsburgh.
And looking right past this game so far, Marv, you made a great point.
It'll be a 2nd and 2 at the 48-yard line. Here's Durkin. Stutter stuffing his way for a first down to the 45-yard line. Elvin Bethea, Ted Washington on the tackle.
Very nice short yardage run by Durkee. He did that mostly on his own. He got the first down. That's what they pay him for. How he's going to measure now?
From our angle, looks to be a first down. Scott Durkin in his 4th year out of Purdue. Picked up 58 yards, 18 carries last Sunday in Denver. He's been averaging just under 4.
He might be an inch or 2 short. Now, an inch or 2 good.
So it is a first down for the Jets at the Houston 46-yard line. Jets with a 14-0 lead, but again, we remind you, those of you out of the Southwest who have not seen the Jets that frequently, last week in Denver, they led 17-3, late second quarter, lost in Denver, 31-24, with Frank Morton literally coming out of a hospital bed to spark the Broncos. Here's Durkin off the change of direction. Nice move by Scott Durkin to the 40-yard line.
The key to the offensive line has been, obviously, for the Jets, the 2 bookend tackles, Ward and Powell. 79 Marvin Powell knows how to run block, folks. He just blew his man out that time.
Ball spotted at the 38. be a 2nd and 3. Aaron Captain is left. Lamb Jones right. Running back Scott Durkee. Kevin Long. Kevin Long trying to swing it, but he cannot. Rick Stebrick, the right quarterback, making the stop. Right here we pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC Television Network.
KPRC TV, Channel 2, Houston.
Back at Shea Stadium in New York City. This is Marv Albert with Mike Hafner. And the Jets surprising the Houston Oilers here in the first half with 9:25 remaining. A 14-0 lead. Ken Schroy picking off a Ken Stabler pass, returning at 82 yards, and off a punt fumble by Carl Roches. The Jet drive concluding with Todd taking it in from 1 yard out, nearly intercepted. Vernon Perry, number 32, got a hand on it. Jerome Barkham, the intended receiver, he has been a favorite target today of Richard Todd.
I'll tell you what, he didn't get a hand on it, Marv. He got a back on it. He didn't even see the ball coming. Vernon Perry, an outstanding player, as people remember from last year's playoffs. Look at that. Todd hit him square between the numbers, but it was right in the middle of the back. Here's another look. He didn't even know it was coming until it was too late.
Chuck Ramsey now will punt on 4th down. He is back at the Jet 42-yard line. Carl Roches, the deep man. Been hang time by Ramsey, but it skips into the end zone. And the Oilers will put it in play out of the 20-yard line, a 43-yard punt by Chuck Ramsey. And with just under 9 left in his first half, it's the Jets 14 and Houston nothing. First down, their 20-yard line, Ken Stabler. And they come this time. The Pittsburgh Steelers by the score of 14-7 in the second quarter.
Well, that's a changed Buffalo club, isn't it, Marv? They were awful the last couple of years.
As we saw firsthand.
Yes. Chuck Knox done a heck of a job.
Only a 1-yard pickup, 2nd and 9. And Stabler throws sideline, and he completes to Mike Barber for a first down. Greg Funnell covering on the play. Mike Barber, the tight end, in his 5th year out of Louisiana Tech. There he is, number 86. Dan Pastorini rarely threw to Mike Barber. Stabler has gone his way right through the season. He's got to love Ken Stabler.
I'll tell you, any tight end does. And again, I said at the top of the show, to be successful throwing the football, to get your wide receivers and your backs open, you must throw to the tight end.
It is a first down at the 35-yard line, and Stabler to put it up on first down this time. A bad pass picked off by Crosby. He threw in the crowd. Ron Crosby taking it inside the 5-yard line. It's a 41-yard return on the interception. Stabler picked off for the 20th time this season. 2nd time today.
Marv, you said it right. An awful choice to throw the football. He threw it into the biggest crowd of green jerseys I've seen Kenny Stabler do in a long time. Crosby's got to be ecstatic. I'm certain that he didn't even think that Stabler would throw the ball there. And he tipped it around for a little bit. Watch Kenny. I have no idea why he made this choice. I know Stabler is a good receiver, but he can't do it with 3 Jets around him. And Crosby stepped right in front, juggled it. A very easy interception, a very poor throw by Kenny Stabler.
Again, it was intended for Casper. First career interception for Crosby. First and goal. Scott Durkee trying to battle his way in from the 1. Greg Bingham, right inside linebacker, sealing it up.
Outstanding job by that front 4 now for the Houston Oilers. As you pointed out earlier, they haven't given up very many rushing touchdowns.
It is a 2nd and goal at the 1. When Richard Todd took it over in the first quarter, it was only the 5th rushing touchdown given up by Houston. Double tight ends, Parkham and Schuler. Long and jerking the running backs. It is Kevin Long, and he's over. That's his 5th touchdown of the season. And what's going on here at Shea? The Jets leading Houston by the score of 20-0.
I got a good friend in Houston who is a sports announcer down there, and he said, Mike, the Jets are going to beat the Oilers today by 7 because they're looking ahead to Cleveland and Pittsburgh. And I laughed at him, and now I'm going to have to apologize after the game the way it looks now.
Well, still much time remaining, as Jet fans have discovered throughout the season, as Pat Leahy puts him through. So with 7:29 remaining in this first half, it's the New York Jets leading the Houston Oilers by the score of 21-0. The stats on Kenny Stabler, who has not had a memorable first half. He has been intercepted 2 times this first half, so he now has 20 interceptions, puts him right alongside Richard Todd and Lynn Dickey of Green Bay for most interceptions in the National Football League. It's really cost here today with the Oilers now trailing 21-0. Roaches to the 10, 20 with a burst across the 25-yard line. Carl Roaches on the return, a 26-yard return. And Houston now with 7 minutes and 20 seconds remaining in the second quarter will go to work. 1st and 10 at the 26. John Sullivan has been outstanding on the special team, making the stop on Carl Roaches.
When we see the halftime statistics, Marv, despite what the Oilers do from here on out, 3 turnovers have resulted in 3 touchdowns, and that'll be the story of the first half.
Stabler is 5 for 10, 56 yards, but 2 interceptions. Campbell, 9 carries, 19 yards. That's been it. And Stabler is hit down by Flecko.
Oilers are confused, Marv. They're not used to this.
Joe Flecko with his 6th sack of the season.
You don't beat Leon Gray twice in too many games. Flecko going up against, as I said, maybe one of the best. Just beats him to the inside, and Stabler has no chance. He didn't want to throw another interception. All he could do was eat it. Flecko's got to have a smile on his face from ear to ear. I'll show you guys.
2nd and 17 for Houston. Back at the 17-yard line. Stabler for Campbell. Penalty marker down off the incompletion. Mark Gastineau on the good rush. And going into today's play, Houston at 8-3, leading the AFC Central. Cleveland and Pittsburgh at 7-4.
We saw Jerry Butler catch a couple of touchdown passes. I'm sure Jet fans remember last year when he caught 4 here.
Vivid memories. Particularly a couple of prayers that were caught. Morris Towns, the right tackle, called for the hold, so it's a 3rd and very long. Earl Campbell again. They're able to contain it. Lincoln and Crosby making the tackle.
The way Kenny Stabler's playing today, why play run? Play pass, pick it off, and forget about Earl. He's not having the big day. And look at the fans. They love it.
Oh, Jets are receiving a standing ovation from this capacity crowd here at Shea Stadium. This has been a very tough ticket all week here in New York. The earliest sellout of the season, and they came to see this man, Earl Campbell, and they came to see him continue, which has been the case thus far in the first half. The punt by Parsley with Harper back at the 30 to the 40, and out he goes across the 45-yard line. So the Jets will take over with 6 minutes remaining in the second quarter. Harper run out by backup wide receiver Jeff Groth. We can look for the Jets to put it on the ground where they have had more than their share of problems off the number 1 rushing offense a year ago, but it's been a different story this season. Scott Durkin, who has looked sharp in this first half, that time ran back by Darrell Hunt, inside linebacker on the left. And Greg Bingham, the right side, inside linebacker. 4-yard advance. It'll be a 2nd and 6 at midfield.
Marvin Powell and Dan Alexander, outstanding blocks that time. And you mentioned that the Jets have had problems running the football, but when you're up by 21-0, you can run the football. Look at Powell. Excellent job. Alexander also. And opened up the hole for Durkee.
He's carried 8 times for 26 yards, and it's Durkin again. This time he could not get away. Stopped at the line. Ted Washington, Darrell Hunt making the stop. It'll be a 3rd and 6.
Quite a matchup in the running game. Stenserud and Powell. Marvin Powell just takes him out of the way, but again, those quick linebackers for the Houston Oilers were there to stack it up.
Marvin Powell was all-pro last season, but has been inconsistent along with a host of people in green and white on that Jet roster.
2 and 9. I hate to mention it. 2 and 9 will make everybody look bad at one time or another.
Now Bruce Hopper and Tom Newton are in at running back for this 3rd and 6. The Jets lead at 21-0 with 4:45 left first half, and the play blown dead. It has been a whistle-happy first half. 3rd down efficiency at 45%.
Number 72, still 3rd down.
45% isn't bad, Marv, but you want to be over 50 if you're going to be a winning football team. And again, we get back to the record. They're not over 50%. They're 2 and 9.
And right here they face a 3rd and 12. The Jets hit with their 7th penalty. They have been hit for 45 yards in penalties. And Todd will throw 3rd down, or try to throw. Number 75, Jesse Baker, his 2nd sack of the afternoon, and number 6 on the season.
Mr. Ward's having a tough day, too. He's got to go up against those fierce pass rushers. Take a look at him here. Ward, the 3rd-year man out of Ohio State, one of the bookends, and he's got a handful of jersey there also.
Chuck Ramsey to punt.
Got a bad ankle, too, Marvin. You've got to keep a good, firm base if you're going to pass block, and that sprained ankle is obviously bothering him.
Here's Chuck Ramsey at the Jet 21-yard line. His 4th punt of the day, and Carl Rochus is back deep. He's at the Houston 24. Jets taking a lot of time, and they just do get it away. Good hang time. 1 second was remaining on the clock. Carl Rochus to the 25, and that's it. And no running room at all.
Excellent coverage by the Jets special teams.
This Thursday at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time, celebrate Thanksgiving with NFL 80 and Brian Gumbel as he brings you an inside look at the day's game, and then it's exciting NFL action. The Dallas Cowboys against the Seattle Seahawks. That is Thursday, Thanksgiving, starting at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on NBC Sports.
Good matchup at quarterback. Zorn against White. I'm going to be waiting for that one.
50-yard punt, 11-yard return, first down at the 25-yard line. Earl Campbell. And that is longest gainer of the day by far.
On first down, too.
Marty Lyons, Stan Blinka combined to make the stop, and Campbell has now carried 11 times for 33 yards, coming off the career high of 206 a week ago.
The Jets are playing pass defense, Marv. He can pick up 8 or 9 if he wants to.
He picked up 7 that time. So for the 2nd and 3, he's got the first down and more. Campbell unleashing for the first time across midfield. Jesse Johnson, the rookie quarterback, breaking him down.
Very important that the Houston Oilers get some kind of points on this drive, Marv. And why not use Earl Campbell? I mean, he needs the confidence in himself. He's had a very rough first half. You've got plenty of time on the clock, and you need a little bit of spark when you go into that locker room, even if it's 21-3. And Earl Campbell can bust you for 80 anytime, so why not give him a shot? Especially when Jets are playing pass.
And he busted for 19 a moment ago. Less than 3 remaining first half. First down play for Houston. Again, it's Campbell. Inside the 45, Ron Crosby there to make the stop. Jets with Gastineau, Salam, Lyons, Klecko up front. Blinka, Crosby, Buttle, the linebackers. Johnson and Dykes at the corner. Schroy and Ray are the deep men. Earl Campbell looking to make it 7 straight over 100 yards, which would tie a record that he shares with O.J. Simpson. 2nd and 4 at the 44. Stabler goes to Campbell. And Campbell has the first down. Almost had open field. Brings to the 35-yard line. Marty Lyons making the tackle.
One of the things about Kenny Stabler that I've got to say is the man is cool. He forgets what happened the play before and takes each play as if nothing had happened prior. And We both know that he's thrown a couple interceptions that have gotten his club down 21-0.
And we get the 2-minute warning. So a timeout with the Jets leading the Oilers 21-0 in a surprise here at Shea. Currently lead the AFC Central at 8 up and 3 down, with Cleveland and Pittsburgh right on their tail. Are trailing here 21-0, but they're on the move. First down at the Jet 35, and Stabler had his arm hit by one of the Jets, looked to be Klecko, and it's called an incomplete pass.
Arm was going forward, good call. Joe Klecko's having a heck of a first half. He's been on Kenny Stabler's toes all afternoon. Let's take a look at Joe there. You see him standing after the play. He's pleased with himself again, up against Leon Gray, and beats him clean again. And grabs the arm right there, and a good call by the Pinstripers. His arm was going forward. It was an incomplete pass.
Stabler is now 6 for 13.
21-3 would give a lift to the Oilers, knowing they come out and score 3 touchdowns in the second half, hold the Jets and win it.
Was an incomplete forward pass. The quarterback had brought his arm forward.
Further interpretation on that play.
5 seconds. The time remaining is 1 minute, 38 seconds in the half.
Apparently they're having difficulty resetting the message board clock, which shows 1 minute 33 left in the first half. In fact, it should be 1 minute and 38, which was explained by the referee, Gordon McConnor.
He's become a star today. Long dissertations from the main man today.
When we resume, it will be 2nd and 10 for Houston. At the Jet 35-yard line. The Jets leading it 21-0 off 2 interceptions. Troy returning the first interception of Stabler for 82 yards. And here in the second quarter, Ron Crosby going 41 yards on the intercept to set it up for Kevin Long, who took it in from 1 yard out. And yet another Houston turnover. Carl Roach is fumbling on a punt return. Jets recover. And that eventuated in Todd taking it in from 1 yard out. Now we're set. 2nd and 10. Stabler throws the middle. Hard hit on Dave Casper. Buttle and Blinka pivoting Casper around on the tackle. And a timeout is called by Houston. Announcement furnished as a public service by the National Football League. 3rd and 3 for Stabler. He flicked it away and picked off Donald Dykes as Stabler is intercepted again, and he fumbles it. So Dykes gives it right back as the Houston Oilers recapture. Correction, it was Darrell Ray, and it was Ray on the fumble.
Comedy of errors. Want to run that by me again? That's crazy. Awful throw by Kenny Stabler again, right into coverage. Take a look. You'll see the number of green jerseys around. Stabler tipped away by Blinka. Intercepted by Darrell Ray. Now this is foolish. Put that ball away, Darrell. Look at it. It's almost fallen out of his hand now. And a great play by Dave Casper to knock it out and give the Oilers a chance to, again, get back on the board and still have the edge coming out in the second half, even though they're trailing.
Ray was stripped by Casper. And so Houston takes over first down at the 41. Interception number 4. And incomplete again. Campbell unable to hang on.
I think Earl better work on his pass receiving. Although it's very hard to fault that young man for the season he's had. So he can't catch the ball. So what?
Well, over the years, that has been the one deficiency.
Take a look again. Obviously, Kenny under pressure, but most backs in the league will catch that pass. That's not any problem. Hit him in a tough spot, right in the hands.
It is a 2nd and 10.
Embarrass Earl again. That's the way. The guys in the truck going to show that one until Earl catches it.
2nd and 10 at the 41. Penalty marker down. This is Tim Wilson on the reception. And Wilson unable to get away. Gang tackle.
I had Stabler about 4 weeks ago when they played against Kansas City and lost 21-20. Earl gained 178 yards.
Offside, number 73, defense. Repeat second down.
Joe Klecko, the right defensive end for the New York Jets, offside.
Stabler threw 5 interceptions in that Kansas City game, 1 for a touchdown, and cost them the football game.
That's the last game the Oilers lost. Since then, they've won 5 in a row, beating the Bears, New England, Denver, Cincinnati, Tampa Bay. 2nd and 5 at the Jet 36. Off the fake on the reverse, Rob Carpenter. Down to the 25, down to the 15, and to the 10-yard line. Beautiful reverse fake with Billy Johnson coming around, and a timeout is called with 1:09 remaining in this first half. Houston with its most impressive drive of the day.
First he faked the draw play, then he faked the reverse to White Shoes. Now he comes back to Carpenter, his favorite receiver out of the backfield, out of that ace formation. The Jets have let him off the hook again. That offside penalty really hurt. Oh, England, I had Cincinnati last week against Buffalo. They're an outstanding defensive team. They can't put any points on the board.
They held the Oilers in check earlier this season, although Campbell was playing hurt. First down at the 11. And Stabler is hit by Gastineau. Down he goes. First Gastineau, then Salam.
That's been part of Kenny Stabler's problem today. He's turned around and seen green jerseys in front of him. Outstanding jobs by Klecko and Salam. Gastineau on this one. And look at Stabler. There's nothing you can do but bow your head and say thank you and eat the ball. Great pressure by the Jets.
2nd and long. The diving catch is made. Mike Renfro back at the original line of scrimmage.
One of those passes, again, that most receivers wouldn't catch. And Kenny Stabler likes to throw to young Mike Renfro because he'll make the tough catch for you. Great athletic move to get up off the ground and gain back almost all the yardage that Stabler lost on the sack.
In the first half for Ken, but
and
a touchdown here would soothe matters.
Let me correct myself, too. Against Cincinnati, he had 5 interceptions, not Kansas City. He had 2 against Kansas City.
All right.
But he's had days where he's thrown 5.
4 today in the first half. And Stabler on 3rd and 10 with much time. He throws it out of the end zone. All receivers covered.
Stabler also had 5 interceptions against Pittsburgh in the first game of the season, which the Oilers lost. But I'd still have my team any day.
44 seconds remaining first half. And Tony Fritsch will attempt a 29-yard field goal. It's been a sensational season for Fritsch. He is 15 for 17 on the year. So Houston hoping to come away with 3 in this first half. And they do not. Well, that's the kind of day it's been for the Houston Oilers. Tony Fritsch, who has been exceptional these past 2 years, missing from 29 yards away, and he is 6 for 7 from that range.
Some fellas is going to go in at halftime and say, all right, forget about it. That's the worst half of football we've played this season. Come back out. You're a better football team than the Jets, and let's play like we know we can play. This is
on top, 21-0. And they take over at their 20-yard line. 1st and 10, 40 seconds remaining first half. And Richard Todd will just look to run it out, and is hearing it from the crowd, but that is the only way to go. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Tom Newton, backup running back, and the clock running down. 20 seconds left.
He doesn't have to run a play, Marv, and he shouldn't. We've seen fumbles before in this city on last plays.
Or metropolitan area out of the Meadowlands vicinity. And the Jets are hearing it from this capacity crowd at Shea as they leave the field in a huge surprise, leading the Houston Oilers at halftime by the score of 21-0. Stadium in New York on a cool, brisk day. Game time temperature at 50 degrees. Right now we're in the 40s as we take a look at those first half statistics. And the story lies in the turnover department.
3 of those turnovers cost the Houston Oilers 21 points, Marvin. There's no doubt that statistic sticks out and will stick in our minds until the Oilers turn it around in the second half.
And Earl Campbell with only 57 yards rushing in the first half as the Jets have held him in check. This his best burst of the day as he went for 19 yards. And, of course, we could see a breakout in the second half.
There's no doubt about it. As I've said all along, this man can go 80 on you anytime. But again, that run for 19 yards was against a Jet defense that was playing pass all the way. A little tough to pull down Earl when you're not playing a run.
The Jets jumping out 14-0 in the first quarter. The 82-yard return off the interception by Ken Schroy. The fumble on the punt by Carl Rochus of Houston, leading to the Jets taking over. The key play in the touchdown drive, Todd and Barkham combining on a 24-yard pass play. Todd concluded the drive, taking it in from 1 yard out. Made it 14-0, and then with 4.5 minutes gone by in the second quarter, Ron Crosby, outside linebacker on the right for the New York Jets, picking one off. Ken Stabler intercepted once again. Crosby returning at 41 yards down to the 1. Kevin Long eventually took it in to make it 21-0. And to make matters even worse, with Houston putting together their best drive, it was nullified as Tony Fritsch missed one from 29 yards out. All right, the kickoff taken by Carl Rochus of Houston. And he's across the 30-yard line. Tim Maresco, backup defensive back for the Jets, number 37, tripping up Rochus.
And it's not very often that you start a second half with a drive by a team that's trailing by 21 and say, this is an important series. If they don't show well, they don't really need points, but they need a bit of a drive here. The Oilers could go in the tank and just say, we've lost this one, let's wait for Pittsburgh and Cleveland in the next 2 weeks.
And Cleveland leading Cincinnati 14-7 in the third quarter. Pittsburgh trailing Buffalo in the third, 14-10. First down for Houston. And they go to Campbell, and he's stopped again. Out goes Salam right there.
Earl Campbell slammed the ball down that time. He's getting a little upset with 1 and 2 yard gains. But they've got to get the Jets thinking pass, Marv. They're playing run, and they're going to stop Earl Campbell until Kenny proves to him he's not going to throw interceptions. Look at this. Salam, excellent job, along with middle linebacker Stan Blinka. And I don't care how great a running back you are. If they don't block him, you ain't going to get anywhere.
Stopped at the line, 2nd and 10 for the Oilers at their 32. And it's Campbell again, straight ahead, up for 2 yards at the 34. But Stan Blinka, young man out of Rockdale, Texas, Sam Houston State College, stopping fellow Texan Campbell.
You don't think Stan Blinka works out on the weights? Look at that. He's got to hold him by one arm and pulls 225-pound Earl Campbell right backward. Oh, the weight programs. Where were they when I was playing? I needed them.
It is a 3rd and 8.
Campbell's out.
Going for a breather. Tim Wilson now, the lone deep back. White Shoes Johnson to the left. Stabler goes right and looks to be short of a first down. Greg Funnell keeping Mike Barber away. It is close to the marker. We'll have to see where they spot the football. Mike Barber, the tight end, actually set up and apparently did pick it up. He was pushed back the other way, so his forward progress was marked out of the 42-yard line, and it's a first down for Houston.
A veteran tight end. He knows where that first down stick is.
First down for Houston at their 42. It's Renfro, top of your screen. Johnson out to the left. Stabler off the deep front. And this is Barber. The tight end coming back on the screen. Getting out near the 45. Greg Funnell in on the tackle. The Jets leading by the score of 21-0. As we open up here in this third quarter, as you can see, Barber looks to be favoring that right arm.
Barber's famous for his acts for injuries. I've seen him go off the field with so much pain and return 2 or 3 plays later and catch a 76-yard touchdown pass. He likes the camera, and he knows if he's hurt, it's going to be on him. Oh, Michael.
Question the credibility of Mike Barber.
As long as he's playing football, he can do anything he wants.
2nd and 7, and penalty markers are thrown. And we have something going Bob Young of the Houston Oilers, the 15-year veteran out of Howard Payne and Marty Lyons, who goes 6'5", 260, against Bob Young at 6'1", 279 pounds, among many thousands who have been a teammate of yours.
I played with Bob for 5 years at Denver. What'll happen here is offsetting penalty.
Huh? Number 76, offense.
Oh. Morris Towns, the right tackle, was called on the penalty, and Mike Bobber, the tight end, is not faking here.
No, he's hurt. Well, a little frustration, would you say? Bobby Young, 15 years in the league, and he doesn't like losing. And Mr. Young got the first knee in first. Marty Lyons wants to get even. That's frustration on the part of the Oilers.
Offside, number 76, still second down.
Offside is called on Towns. 2-minute penalty for knee on Bob Young.
2 minutes in the penalty box, huh, Marv? Here comes Barber off the field. Bum Phillips very intent on knowing whether one of his premier tight ends is all right and can continue to play. I predict that Mike Barber will return. I would imagine the NFL office will get a picture of this replay sometime Monday. Started by Bob Young with the knee. And again, it's that frustration. Wait a minute, we're a good football team. What are we doing down 21-0? And it hurts inside for an all-pro like Young. No call for that, though.
No punches thrown, more of a wrestling barrage, and both players remain in the game. It is a 2nd and 12. Bob Winkle has come on, replacing Abdul Salam, the left defensive tackle. Again a flag down, and Stabler guns it. Richard Castor, former New York Jet, on the reception.
And I don't think the fight's over yet. Bob Young matching up against Marty Lyons in that offensive line, and they were dangling at it again. Let's take a look. Young, the 15-year-old pro who can lift some weights, folks. The young Marty Lyons, got a handful of jersey there. Still biting and scratching, setting him up for Leon Gray so he can get a shot at him.
And again, a penalty marker thrown down.
So Young gets away with holding, and they call the Jets.
Here's the call.
Offside, number 73, defense, repeat second down.
Joe Klecko of the Jets called for the offside. And it will be a 2nd and 7.
And the war in the pits continue.
9 penalties on the Jets for 55 yards. Here's Campbell on the pitch out. And again a flag is down. It's awfully physical.
And you mentioned gang tackle, Marv. That's the way to stop number 34 in white. 1, 2, 3 Jets around him. Now 2 have got a hold of him. He's still up. 3, 4, 5. There we go. There's a 6th one in there somewhere. That's the way to stop, Earl. 6 tacklers.
Offsetting penalty. They had a hold against Houston and a face mask, personal foul against the Jets' Stan Blinka. So it remains 2nd and 7.
6 tacklers and a face mask. That's how to get rolled down.
Houston Oilers have been complaining about late hits on Earl Campbell, but Bun Phillips had said that the Jets are as clean a team as he's seen in pro football. I'm not so sure that's a compliment from the Jet point of view. And this is Booby Clark, stopped by Stan Blinka. Booby Clark, an 8-year veteran who has been on injured reserve because of knee difficulties. Did play last week on special teams.
There's Bobby Young, and that battle continues. He and Marty Lyons. This is the draw play this time. Young sets up to show pass block. Look at him. I mean, that's just plain old war, Mark.
Booby Clark picked up 6. So it is a 3rd and 4, and Clark remains in as the lone deep back. Campbell on the sideline. Stabler trying to go sideline, but hit hard by Funnel. Richard Castor, the intended receiver. Dave Casper, who was shaken up earlier, may be hurt because Bump Phillips has been going the way of Richard Casper. Look at Earl Campbell.
Earl wants to forget this day. So far.
Well, right now, Bump Phillips sitting him down to provide some rest time. And Houston forced to punt. Here's Cliff Parsley. We're told that Dave Casper suffered a concussion and will not return. And a moment ago, you saw Mike Barber get shaken up. Bruce Hopper. Nowhere to go. Good coverage by the Oilers. Hopper hit down inside the 15 by Boobie Clark. 35-yard punt. A loss of 2 on the return. 11:23 left third quarter. And it's the Jets over Houston. And back here at Shea, 11:23 remaining third quarter. Jets lead it 21-0. They take over first and 10 at their 15-yard line. Scott Durkee, Kevin Long, the running backs. That's Lamb Jones in motion. And here's Durkee on the slant. Out to the 18-yard line. 3-yard advance makes for a 2nd and 7. And Mike, we've received word the doctors are looking at the left knee of Earl Campbell, who was shaken up earlier. A look at the scoreboard, Oakland and Philadelphia. No score third quarter. Buffalo leads Pittsburgh now in the third. New England in front of Baltimore. Cleveland over Cincinnati 21-7. Chicago leading Atlanta in the third.
Ooh, that's a bit of a surprise, too. Not only here do we have a surprise.
2nd and 7.
Oh, I don't like it. You can't be conservative. Not this early in the half.
And Durkee is stacked up by Darrell Hunt, Ted Washington. We pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC Television Network.
KPRC TV, Channel 2, Houston.
It is a 3rd down and 6. Marv Albert, Mike Hafner from Shea Stadium in New York. It has been all Jets. 5 Houston turnovers. 3 interceptions thrown by Ken Stabler. And the Jets in front, 21-0. All the scoring in the first half. Here's 3rd and 6 for Todd. He's got Newton, but short of a first down. Tom Newton in his 4th year out of the University of California, coming out of the backfield, but immediately popped by Robert Brazier.
And Richard Todd calls his own plays. I didn't want to lead anybody wrong by saying that each play was sent in by Walt Michaels. But in that situation, I'm sure he was under orders by Coach Michaels that we have a 21-point lead, and he looked a bit conservative.
So Chuck Ramsey back at his 10-yard line. And Carl Roaches is the deep man, and a beautiful punt by Ramsey. Roaches takes it to 20. Roaches to the 30. And did well to get that far. With Ron Crosby and Lance Bell making the stop. So the Houston Oilers will take over with 5.5 minutes gone by in this third quarter of Pittsburgh. Coming at 7-4. 57-yard punt by Ramsey and a 9-yard return by Roaches. So here is Stabler on first down from the 32, flinging it out of bounds. No question about the intent.
Threw it away.
Good rush by Gastineau and Klecko. Detroit now leads Tampa Bay 17-10 in the third quarter.
Detroit's found its way back north. A lot of pressure on Kenny Stabler now, Marv.
St. Louis over Kansas City in the Battle of Missouri, 10-0 in the second quarter. And Green Bay leading Minnesota.
Art Starr's done a good job of turning that club around this season. Saved his job, I think.
Yes, he did. Renfro right. Johnson left, 2nd and 10. Now sideline delivery, and it's completed. Renfro with the first down, covered by the rookie quarterback, Jesse Johnson. Mike Renfro on the reception.
Uh-oh.
And some bad news for the Houston Oilers. Sam Rutigliano's Cleveland Browns in front of Cincinnati, 28-7.
Sam's my old receiver coach. 5 years he made me look good. Help me fool him.
Which took a lot on the part of Sam.
Really.
First and 10 from the 44-yard line. This is Tim Wilson who has come on for Earl Campbell across the 45-yard line for another update from NFL 80. Let's look at the AFC Central. And this day could conclude with Houston, Cleveland, and Pittsburgh if they're able to come from behind in a tie for that top spot, unless the Oilers turn it around here. Again, the completion to Renfro, but he had to come back for it. Jesse Johnson on the coverage once again, and they spot it at midfield.
I'm surprised they haven't gone up against Jesse Johnson more. Of course, when you're down 21-0, you're searching for anything, but the young man, it's his first start of the season for the Jets at a very vulnerable spot, cornerback. Mike Renfro's teaching him about precise patterns. He's been open twice now.
It's 3rd and 3 at midfield. Stabler is 11 for 23, 116 yards, 3 interceptions. And he goes to Tim Wilson, close to the first down. Flacco and Blinka stopping the 6'3", 220-pounder in his 4th year out of Maryland. Tim Wilson. Earl Campbell still on the sideline.
He is going to be important down the stretch, and you don't want to lose him by trying to catch up in one football game.
Next
Smart
week,
choice.
Houston home for Cleveland, and then home for Pittsburgh. Thursday, the 4th of December, they finish up in Green Bay, and then back home for Minnesota. Here's Stabler to throw. First down, and throwing the bomb. Oh, a spectacular catch by Renfro. But the Jets did well not allowing entrance to the end zone. Jesse Johnson was beaten, but Renfro not able to get in. Penalty marker has been thrown down. And it's a hold against Houston.
Oh, that's got to put their heads between their knees. That doesn't make them happy at all, Marv.
Holding. Number 76, offense.
And it's Morris Towns again. Morris Towns, the right tackle, 4-year pro, out of the University of Missouri, took over the starting job when Conway Heyman injured his back earlier this year.
Mark Gastineau, obviously a great pass rush. Town, all he could do is reach out and grab him. Got caught.
1st and 20, back at the 44-yard line. Tim Wilson on the reception to midfield and more. Submarined across the 45 by Jesse Johnson.
Very sensible call by Kenny Stabler. You don't try and get that all the yardage back in one play. Sets up the screen. And he's a smart man. Despite the fact he's having a bad day, he comes back. Each play is just like a new one. And the screen pass was a perfect call. And now they're in a 2nd and 6 situation, and that's exactly what he wanted to do. Good call by Stabler. They're not out of it yet, Marv.
Long way to go. We have 7 minutes, 10 seconds left, 3rd quarter. Oilers are trailing, 2nd and about 7. And that's the tight end, Bomber, close to the first down. Ron Crosby and Ken Schroy combined to make the stop on Mike Barber, who was shaken up earlier but has returned. Bum Phillips, who has been relying on the 2 tight end alignment, now has Barber, Richard Castor, Tim Wilson has made cameos at tight end.
Richard Castor, well known in this city.
3rd and 1.
It is a 3rd and 1. And Bum has sent Earl Campbell back in.
That knee's not as bad as they thought it was. You know, just having him there is a threat.
Well, he came into today's game with a bruised knee. And the handoff for Campbell, and he's picked up the first down. Blinka and Crosby cover up. Penalty marker thrown once again.
You know, one of the things about Bum Phillips, he just showed that he has not given up on this football game. He put Earl Campbell back in with a bruised knee to get the first down. He hadn't given it up yet.
There's Campbell after picking up the first down, moving back to the sideline.
You know, Earl always gets up slow and looks like he's hurt on every play. And they ask Bum Phillips, when do you know when Campbell's hurt? And he says if he walks back to the huddle, he's not. If he walks back to the sidelines, he is.
Yeah. It's perceptive. Flacco called for the offside first down. As Stabler looking left and right, then goes sideline. And let's see, he was inbounds. Mike Renfro was able to get the feet in. Jesse Johnson was covering once again.
He learned that move from his dad, how to keep the feet in. And again, the young man runs precise patterns. And Kenny Stabler, when he's in trouble, it was all set up to the left side, but the coverage was over there, so he comes back to Renfro, and he's not afraid to throw it to that young man, because he knows 9 out of 10 times he's going to come up with a completion.
Mike Renfro, the son of former Cleveland Browns star Ray Renfro. Of course, his non-touchdown catch in the AFC title game against Pittsburgh, the most controversial play of last year.
No doubt about it.
First out at the 16. Renfro with 5 receptions, 57 yards. And Houston on the move with 6 minutes left, third quarter. Off the draw, Wilson takes, but as you see, it's whistled in. Back and David Carter, 4-year pro out of Western Kentucky, is now in at left guard. So it's Leon Gray at left tackle. Bob Young replaced by David Carter. Left guard, the center is the veteran Carl Mott. At right guard, Ed Fisher. At right tackle now, Angelo Field. Morris Towns has had his troubles today. First down and 15 at the 21. The swing for Castor to the 20. Down to the 15-yard line. Richard Castor, one-time New York Jet, hit down by Marty Lyons. Castor in his 11th year out of Jackson State. He was acquired for 2 7th-round draft picks, and Bum Phillips says it's the best trade that he's made.
I'll tell you, the other one is Jack Tatum, who picked off a pass today, and Castor shows you how important it is to have depth and experience on your bench. You never know when you're going to lose a David Casper. You never know when you're going to lose a safety man where Jack Tatum can fill in, and it's sure nice to go to a veteran like that when an injury occurs.
Second and 9 at the 15. Stabler has completed 6 consecutive, but this time taken down by Mark Gastineau. He has had an exceptional day. Mark Gastineau, in his second year in the NFL, out of East Central Oklahoma. He had 2 sacks at Denver last week. This number 10, the first time that a Jet has hit double figures since Mark Lomas collected 10 back in '73.
Angelo Fields comes off the bench, and I think the stars of the game today so far have been the Jet front 4. Gastineau's had a great afternoon. Joe Klecko in the first half was, of course. Marty Lyons has been playing well. And Mr. Fields just got taught a lesson on pass rush.
Third sack of the day for the Jets, second for Gastineau. Stabler comes right back with a bullet for Castor, who's hammered down at the 20-yard line. Greg Buttle playing it very well.
Kenny Stabler wanted to go downfield in that third down and almost 20 situation, and the Jets knew he had to go upstairs, and the pressure is important. And look at Gastineau. He made Kenny Stabler throw the ball short. He didn't have time to wait for his deep receivers. Again, outstanding pressure by the Jet front 4.
Houston now with a 4th and 14, trailing 21-0. 4:20 left third quarter, and they will go for the 4th down and 14 as the crowd urges the Jet defense on. This is Castor, and Castor is stopped short of the first down.
Not a bad call, Omar. Not bad at all, because the Jets will take over at the 10. What good's a field goal going to do you now? You need 3 touchdowns to get it into overtime. Why not go for it? I like it.
Ron Crosby and Marty Lyons and Ken Schroy on the tackle of Castor. And the Jets have not heard such warmth from the crowd in a long, long time here at Shea, with the Jets leading at 21-0, holding the Oilers first and 10 for the Jets. Down at their 11-yard line, and a burst by Kevin Long across the 15. Greg Bingham, inside linebacker, on the right, making the stop. The Jet 2 victories this season over Miami, 17-14 back on October the 27th, and they beat Atlanta 14-7 in Atlanta October the 12th, and that has been it. They come off another disastrous day, blowing a 17-3 lead to Denver last week. It has been an awful season of disappointment, but they have surprised here today against the first-place Houston Oilers. Again, Kevin Long with the call. Ted Washington making the stop out at the 20-yard line. It'll set up.
Richard Todd put pressure on his offensive lineman. He said, hey, guys, we're backed up against our goal line. We've got a 21-point lead. Let's get our offensive line with some surge, get our running backs to get us a first down in this drive. Look at Chris Ward, an excellent job. Takes his man all the way across the field and allows the Jets to get themselves in a 3rd and 2 situation.
Sets it up, 3rd and 2 at the 20. Long has carried 9 times for 27 yards, Durkin 10 times for 32 yards. And on the sweep, Durkin is stopped at the line.
No gain, Marv. I mean, you can only ask your offensive lineman on certain plays to really get after it. I'd have gone upstairs with that. That had fooled Houston. They were expecting the run, obviously, the way they stacked it up.
And the Jets are now 0 for 7 in the department of third down conversions. And with 2:37 left, third quarter, they are forced to give it up. Chuck Ramsey back at his 5-yard line, and the deep man is Carl Roaches. There's Ramsey. He's had a solid day.
The Oilers have got to score on this drive.
And Roaches has to chase. Roaches to the 35, but a penalty marker down once again.
And its backup field could be against the Jets, and that would really hurt after putting them back in bad field position on that punt. Cha-cha offense, 1-2-3 kick, and now a penalty.
The referee, Gordon McConnor, who has received much mic time here this afternoon.
About to get some more.
Ineligible receiver, downfield, number 37, kicking case. Repeat, fourth down.
Well, Tim Moresco left too soon. And they'll kick it again. This time, Ramsey moved back to his goal line. Roaches comes up for this one at midfield. And the Jets are all over him.
They got 25 yards in that exchange.
33-yard punt by Ramsey. No gain on the return by Roaches, stopped by Moresco and Holmes. Once again, 2 minutes left in this third quarter back here at Shea in just a moment. And Walt Michaels on the left, Walt Phillips on the right. Not too many people would expect that Michaels would be the happier of the two at this juncture. 2 minutes left in this third quarter. Houston taking over, first down at the Jet 46-yard line. Stabler, who is 10 for 13 the second half, just drops it off. And fortunate to get away with that maneuver.
You know, and very interesting that Mike Barber was kept in the block. Kenny Stabler knows he's getting pressure from that Jet defensive front four, and he kept Mike Barber, one of his better receivers, in the block for pass protection. Surprise.
Good rush again by Gastineau. It is a 2nd and 10. The crowd chanting defense. Well, this is the young Jet defense that people were expecting to blossom out and has not, except for occasions, this 1980 season, with the Jets liking Houston 21-0 thus far. Castor on the screen. Inside the 45-yard line. Stopped by Stan Blinka. Now for an update, let's go to Brian Gumble at our studios in New York. You forget about it's a third down play for Stabler. 3rd and 7. Houston is 3 for 10 in third down conversions. Mike Barber on the reception. He was in first down territory, then came back as he was hit by Stan Blinka. And the ball is spotted short of the first down.
Give Stan Blinka all the credit on that. He has Barber covered like a blanket. And the only way Barber can make the reception is to come back to Kenny Stabler. He knows he can feel Stan right on his back. That cost him the first down yardage. Great play by Blinka, the middle linebacker.
So it's a 4th and 2.
And you go for it. Of course.
Renfro right. White Shoes Johnson left. The lone D-back is Wilson. Now the crowd again urging the Jet defense on. But Tim Wilson able to pick up the first down and more.
Outstanding call.
Tripped up by Buttle.
Great call to draw play on 4th and 2. Certainly the Jet defense playing pass. They want the big pass rusher they've been getting all day. Wilson had a hole you could drive a truck through.
And time is running out of this third quarter. Houston with a first down inside the Jet 30-yard line. And now the third quarter has come to a conclusion. And again, the crowd on its feet applauding the New York Jets. At At the end of 3, the score, the Jets 21 and Houston nothing. They have come out to see, and I'm sure unexpectedly.
You got a pint or two from Kenny already today.
First down for Stabler at the Jet 29-yard line. It's Gastineau again. But Stabler able to elude the rush and gets it away. One-hand catch by Barber and a beauty. Inside the 15. Ken Troy takes him down.
Mike Barber made that look awfully easy. A one-handed casual catch. And a great job by Kenny Stabler, who has been maligned for his bad knees, says he can't move around very well. Here's that great pass rush again. Gastineau's got him by the shirt. Do you call the in the grasp of the defensive lineman there? Maybe not. It was awful. He had a hold of him early, but look at Barber. I can't believe that. That's too casual, Michael. But I'm sure Kenny Stabler will take it.
6th reception for Barber. 16-yard pickup. And again, the Oilers knocking on the door. First down at the 13-yard line. Here's Wilson. No running room, so cuts back. Tim Wilson taking bumps, but able to make his way inside the 10, and he was really hammered. Donald Dykes, the right quarterback, finally able to bring Wilson down.
Great job of running by Wilson. He's a powerful young man. Better known for a blocker for Earl Campbell, but with Earl banged up, that bruised knee bothering him, Wilson's getting to carry the load.
Bringing to the 5, it'll be a 2nd and 2. At the 5-yard line, Earl Campbell having difficulties with his knee again. Had it bumped earlier and has been spotted here in the second half. 2nd and 2. Stabler going for Barber. He's got him. Touchdown. He beat Greg Buttle. Mike Barber with his 5th touchdown of the season, and the Oilers are finally on the board.
Kenny Stabler wants to get a practice receiver on a linebacker. If you do it with a back, fine. If you do it with a tight end, that's also fine. Linebackers aren't used to covering receivers full time, and look at how easy a job Mike Barber had. It's tough for a linebacker to cover a receiver full time. Another look at Stabler. No pressure on him this time. And he has plenty of time to find Barber, who's one-on-one with a linebacker, and it's not over yet. I've seen 3 touchdowns in a quarter before.
Tony Fritsch, 22 for 23 on the season. Gifford Nielsen taking the snap, but penalty blockers are down once again.
Surprise. Those gold little hankies all over the field as usual.
Number 77, offense.
False start.
There's Mike Barber, the tight end.
And Tony Fritsch, who has been bothered by a sore leg, will not kick. Ted Thompson, a backup linebacker wearing number 51, 6-year pro out of SMU. His first conversion attempt in the NFL.
Little pressure on him. They need 3 touchdowns and 3 converts.
Well, this one comes out at the 15, so it's a 25-yard extra point attempt. Nielsen puts down, and Thompson puts it right through.
A round of applause for the rookie, and there's a flag down.
And again, penalty marker down, and some angry words between Jet players and Oiler players. It has been a testy afternoon here at Shea.
With a great football team like the Oilers down by 21, at least going to that point, there's still frustration on the field.
The main event featured young Marty Lyons against the veteran Bob Young.
We have a personal foul running into the kicker, number 28. On the defense, the penalty will be assessed on the kickoff. 5 yards.
His first attempt ever, Mr. Thompson, and you're going to pay for it. Roll up right on an ankle.
Personal foul called on Darrell Ray for running into Thompson. And that penalty will be assessed on the kickoff. The timeout will be back in just a moment. 5-7 plays for 46 yards, consuming 3 minutes and 44 seconds. Tony Fritsch, although he did not kick the extra point, was about to go on the kickoff, but Bud Phillips changed his mind, and so again it's Ted Thompson taking over the kicking duties. This is Bruce Harper. Out to the 30. Good return by Harper across the 35-yard line.
Even after the 5-yard penalty, anytime you get over the 30-yard line on a kickoff return, you've done an excellent job. And with the added 5 yards on the penalty, that's darn good field position for New York.
22-yard return by Hopper, Mike Renfro on the tackle. So the Jets now in front 21-7, 13:07 left in this fourth quarter. And the Jets now first and 10 at the 33-yard line. Well, the Jets turning it around in that third quarter.
They got to go for it. They got to go for it, Mark. No conservative here. I like it.
And Todd to throw on first down. Now Todd running out of the pocket in trouble. And wallop. Elvin Bethea and Mike Stensrud, Darrell Hunt, all involved.
Elvin Bethea, 13-year veteran. He knows how to play this football game. Here's his pass rush attempt, but he uses his eyes, sees that Todd's running out of the pocket, and Elvin's not giving up. He's incredible for a 13-year veteran. He's all over the field. Great pursuit. But I like Todd going for the play-action pass on first down. No more of that cha-cha stuff.
Picked up 3 at 2nd and 7 for the Jets at their 36-yard line. Kevin Long is a lone deep back. Long count by Todd. And this is Long. He's to the 39, advance of 3. It'll be a 3rd and 4. And well, for the first time, we're hearing a smattering of boos.
Natives are restless. There is no sense with a 14-point lead and 11:56 to go in this game to play conservative, Marv. You get another touchdown, this game's over with. Houston will go in the tank, but no, they're playing 3 downs and kick and given every opportunity for the Oilers to get back in the game.
And the Jets are 0 for 7 in third down conversions. Pittsburgh now trailing 28-13 in the fourth quarter. Matt Barr from 42 yards out converting for the Steelers. Todd throwing on third down, and it's incomplete. Wesley Walker, the intended receiver, and he threw double coverage. J.C. Wilson and Mike Reinfeld combining. Chuck Ramsey will check in to punt.
Bit of a hope pass by Richard Todd. He threw it up that time and did some double coverage and hoped the right color jersey picked it off.
That was only the second pass attempted by Richard Todd the second half.
Shows the conservatism, and it'll hurt you.
All right, Bingham getting set to snap to Ramsey. 7th punt of the day for Ramsey. 10-man rush by the Houston Oilers. Carl Rochus, the deep man. Oilers want this one, and Ramsey gets it away. Rochus says fair catch, and does just that at the 28-yard line. So with 11:21 remaining in the fourth quarter, a 33-yard punt by Ramsey, and following this timeout, Houston will take over. They're trailing 21-7. Marv Albert, Mike Hafner, Shea Stadium in New York, where the lights have gone on. It's been a beautiful day for football. Temperature right now in the 40s. Houston taking over, first and 10 at their 28-yard line, and Tim Wilson remains in. And running back Earl Campbell on the sideline. Stabler throws it out on first down to the tight end, Bomber. And he's got a first down and more, but a penalty marker is down. Looked to be a hold over Cincinnati, 31-7. Atlanta leads Chicago, 21-17. Detroit leading Tampa Bay in the fourth. The Jets take over now, leading by the score of 21-7. Of the day by the New York Jets. Jets take over first down at the Houston 36-yard line. Troy, Crosby, and Q for Ray to do it to Stabler. Kevin Long to the 31. Darrell Hunt, inside linebacker on the left, making the stop. Robert Brazil also in on the tackle.
Houston Oilers know it's almost over. You get 6 yards against a defensive team that plays the run very, very well in that situation on first down when you know they're going to run the football. The Oilers are about ready to cash it in.
I tell you, though, Mike, as one who's observed the Jets through the season, I don't think so. All right, don't know. A lot of time left. Here's Todd for Barker. Big play right there. And Barkham is stopped near the 5. Mike Reinfeld, the weak safety, making the stop at his first and goal, and that could be the crusher if the Jets are able to take it in. But still, we do have 10 minutes remaining fourth quarter.
Play action pass, an excellent call by Richard Todd, the young quarterback. Houston expecting the run in that situation. You run on throwing downs and running downs. Jerome Barkham was wide open in that zone.
And the Jets have surprised the Oilers by suddenly looking Jerome Barkham's way. He had only 10 receptions coming into today, and they really have not gone the way of Lamb Jones and Wesley Walker. That's Jones in motion. First and goal, Kevin Long inside the 5-yard line. So again, Jerome Barkham with a big play, 26-yard reception for Barkham. He had a 24-yard reception in the first quarter. The key play leading to the Jets' second touchdown.
Barkham has had a big day, and tight ends have been successful against these Houston Oilers this season.
It is a second and goal at the 3. Lamb Jones to the right. Wesley Walker left. Hopper and Long are the running backs. Just under 9 left fourth quarter. And Todd to throw it to the end zone. It's picked up. Intercepted by Brazil. A big turnaround. Robert Brazil.
Don't say I told you so, Marv. I'm eating my words right now.
And this capacity crowd at Shea is very unhappy. Bruce Harper, the intended receiver. The Jets with goal to go, and Todd is picked off.
Harper was wide open. He needed to loft that pass. Robert Brazil, not noted for his hands, couldn't help but intercept that one. Todd hit him right between the 5 and the 2.
33-yard return, Brazil's second interception of the season. And things have turned with 8:46 left in the fourth quarter.
If you've got a youngster at home who wants to play quarterback in the National Football League, remember this little tip. When you're on the goal line, got a back open, loft it over his head. Don't try to throw the bullet, because if you miss him, all it is an incomplete pass. If you don't read a linebacker, he steps in front and picks it off.
Richard Todd intercepted by Robert Brazil, and Houston first down at the 33, and Stabler looks to go to work. Stabler throws it away. The intended receiver was Renfro. The good pass rush by Marty Lyons.
The good pass rush we've seen all day, and it's been either one of the four. Gastineau's had a great day. Lyons now with his sack. Plecco in the first half, and that's been Kenny's bane all afternoon. He might be getting receivers open downfield, but he hasn't had the time to hit them because of the pressure from the front four of the Jets.
Richard Todd intercepted for the second time this afternoon a moment ago to provide the Houston Oilers with a chance to get back in this one with 8:40 remaining in the fourth quarter. They're trailing 21-7. Stabler with time, guns it. Renfro, pretty catch, and he's got a first down and more. Renfro down to the 40-yard line, and looked to be a face mask penalty at the tail end of the play.
The little man something, didn't he?
Stan Blinka making the stop on Renfro.
When you're in trouble, Kenny Stabler's got to go to his outside receiver. And here Renfro makes a great catch. Look at those hands. That's the way to catch a football in the hands. Now watch the great move to get the extra yardage. He knows his club has got to get touchdowns, not field goals or anything like that. Oh, there. Well, sorry. Now you don't want him to score. What the heck? 5 more yards isn't going to hurt anything.
That is Blinka on the face mask. 27-yard pass play plus the penalty.
Oh, they called it flagrant. That's 15 yards. That hurts. That gives them excellent field position.
Personal foul. Unnecessary roughness. Face mask on the tackle. First down.
So the man from Sam Houston State in his second year in the NFL, Stan Blinka, called for the face mask. And a significant sequence right here off that reception. First down for Houston at the Jet 27-yard line. On the draw, it's Tim Wilson looking to go outside. Tim Wilson picking up yardage. Bumped out by Darrell Ray. So the Oilers continue to make their move. Right now, let's go back to Bryant Gumbel at NFL 80 in New York.
Thank you, Marv Albert at Schaefer Stadium in Foxborough. The Patriots are piling it on the Colts. Don Calhoun from 3 yards out here. And since then, the Patriots have scored again. Pending the extra point, it's 46-21. Marv?
All right, Brian. Tim Wilson picked up 10 for a first down at the Jet 17-yard line. And much time remaining. 8:21 left. Houston trailing 21-7. Stabler underthrows, short hop by White Shoes Johnson.
I can play shortstop in the American League. You know, it's really tough on Kenny Stabler now, Marv. They know he has to throw the football. They're playing pass all the way, and Mr. Earl Campbell is sitting on the bench. It'd be nice to run draw plays to him occasionally, but they can't because of that bruised knee.
In the fourth quarter, the Eagles now have taken a lead on the Raiders, 10-7.
The Eagles are something, aren't they? Those fans have been starving for years in that city.
2nd and 10 for Stabler. Crowd on its feet here at Shea. Stabler looking end zone, but threw it away. So Renfro was well covered by Jesse Johnson, and a smart play by the Snake.
And you see when the defense knows that Kenny Stabler has to throw the football, it was great pressure by the front four and excellent coverage in the defensive secondary by the Jets people.
Kenny Stabler, 24 for 41. And this fella has to be a little bit on the nervous side.
I've seen his club blow some leads before. Won't be anything new.
Houston is 3 for 11. Third down conversions. So an important play here. And he's got it. White Shoes Johnson on the reception. Stopped by Dykes. Let's see where they placed the football. It's short of the first down. So it'll be a 4th and about 3. Billy Johnson on the reception.
No field goal team here, I guarantee you.
Jeff Grote, number 81, just came in with a play. And the crowd urging the Jet defensive unit on. Bob Phillips trying to get a timeout, but they're not recognizing it. And Stabler fires. He's got Johnson, touchdown. And Bob Phillips has to be saying, thank you guys for not seeing the timeout.
Groth went into the game, and Renfro didn't come out. Bum was trying to call timeout since there were 12 men on the field. But Stabler, so alert and so cool, looked over his shoulder, waited till Renfro got off the field, took the snap, hit Johnson for a touchdown, and the man is smooth, I tell you. The old master, he's had an awful day, and yet he comes back and makes a great heady play like that. It's incredible.
White Shoes, as you saw, beat Ron Crosby. An important extra point, and again, it's Ted Thompson replacing the injured Tony Fritsch, who came in with a sore leg, and Thompson is able to put it right. Let's see. Wait a moment. Penalty marker down. The kick was good, but a flag down.
Kick is good.
Illegal substitution. 12 men on the defense. The kick is good. 5-yard penalty assessed on the kickoff.
Well, the penalty will be assessed on the kickoff. An illegal substitution called on the Jets. They have the extra man on the field. So the point after by Thompson is good. 7 plays, 66 yards. It is a new game here at Shea with 7:21 left. And the Oilers now within 7. That last penalty assessed on the Jets, their 14th of the game. That ties a New York Jet Club record. They've been hit for 90 yards. Again, it's Ted Thompson on the kickoff. And here's Bruce Hopper out to the 15. And hit down hard across the 20-yard line.
And I don't like the Jets played for the onside kick there, Marv. We've got 7:12 to go. You've got a kicker that obviously hasn't practiced the onside kick. Why not go for the return, get good field position, instead of sitting back at the 22-yard line? I don't like that at all.
14-yard return by Hopper. Darrell Hunt with the stop. And the crowd getting a bit nervous here. Richard Todd hearing it from the crowd as he steps on. 1st and 10 at the 23-yard line. Jets once led 21-0. Scott Durkin is stopped on the slant to the right. And you get the feeling the crowd can feel that it's going the other way.
Oh, we've seen the momentum turn. There's no doubt about that. The crowd knows it.
Darrell Hunt making the stop. 2-yard advance, 2nd and 8. Upcoming now for the Jets. That's our first final of the day. The Patriots bombing away at the Colts, 47-21. 2nd and 8 call, and again, Todd keeps it on the ground and hears it from the crowd. Scott Durkin with the short pickup. Ted Washington makes the stop.
He's got to throw now, Marv, and he should have thrown on 1st or 2nd down. Again, Richard Todd calling his own plays, but obviously Mr. Michaels gives him orders when he runs onto the field about how they're going to approach the Houston Oilers defense.
Over the year, the Jets have discovered many unique ways to lose ball games, to blow games. It's actually become an NFL novelty. They've blown big leads. They've come from behind, fallen short. And they're in trouble right here. 3rd and 7. And Todd guns it down. And it's incomplete. Ruled incomplete, intended for Harper. And in bang-bang fashion, you get the feeling Walt Michaels can sense it. The Houston Oilers now in punt formation. Ramsey back at his 10. This is 8th punt of the afternoon. So the Jets, taking a 21-0 lead into the 4th quarter, are now giving up the football, and they lead 21-14. Good punt by Ramsey. Carl Roches driven back to the 30.
Still good field position, though, Marv. Kenny can take him 70 yards any day of the week.
Kenny Lewis making the stop on the play. 5 minutes and 42 seconds remaining in this 4th quarter. And in just a few moments, we're going to send Mike Hafner down to get some feelings from the crowd about what is going on here. Once again, the Jets in the process of blowing one.
Ought to get some interesting answers from some of the Jets season ticket holders, too.
And I would suggest some protection, Mike. Stabler going deep downfield. Stabler completing to Richard Kester. The former New York Jet has come back to do it here at Shea. Richard Kester off the ball. And the Jet lead is down to 1. Richard Kester, the former New York Jet, bringing the Oilers within 1. And here is Ted Thompson looking to tie it. Nielsen holding. We're tied at 21. 5.5 minutes remaining 4th quarter. The Jets have blown a 21-0 lead. Again, the Jets in an unlikely situation. Richard Kester going 68 yards to tie it up. Houston with all its 21 points here in the fourth quarter as we get yet another look. Stabler going deep for Castor, who beats the rookie Darrell Ray, who earlier today picked off 2 Ken Stabler passes. So Castor, as you see with his 5th reception, an incredible turnaround here in the fourth quarter. And for Richard Castor, certainly one of his happiest moments as a pro. And as we promised, we have sent Mike Hafner down into the stands here at Shea to get reaction. The Jets earlier received several standing ovations in the process of moving in front 21-0. Bruce Hoffer, Paul Darby are back deep. This is Darby, 25, across the 30-yard line. And the Jet offensive unit led by Richard Todd hearing it from the crowd as they return. Right here, let's pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC Television Network.
KPRC TV, Channel 2, Houston.
Marv Albert along with Mike Hafner from Shea Stadium in New York. First down at the 34-yard line. Now tied at fan. Walt Michaels took over a Jet team 4 years ago with only positive feelings about Michaels from players and fans. Then he went 3-11, 8-8, 2 straight years, 2-9 thus far this season, and it has been a disaster. Here's Todd again going long, and he completes to Lamb Jones for a first down. At the Houston 40, J.C. Wilson, the left quarterback, making the stop. And we welcome those of you across the nation who have joined us here at Shea Stadium in New York. Marv Albert along with Mike Hafner. We have 4 minutes and 45 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. The New York Jets have jumped in front by the score of 21-0. They had a 21-0 lead going to this fourth quarter, but the Oilers have come right back despite the off performance by Earl Campbell, who has sat out most of this second half. That's Hopper on the reception from Todd. And Hopper with a first down and much more. Bruce Hopper across the 20-yard line. Hopper cutting down across the 10, and Hopper takes it in. Five-yard touchdown pass in what has become a wild finish. We still have 4:17 left. 3 plays, 66 yards. In a minute 5, Todd hits Hopper, and the Jets recapture the lead 27-21. Here's Pat Leahy. 4 minutes, 17 seconds left before the sellout crowd here at Shea that has certainly had its ups and downs. Richard Todd swinging to Bruce Hopper. And Hopper, the 4-year pro out of Kutztown State, changing direction, broke tackles, and was able to take it in, out racing the right cornerback, Greg Stemerick. One more time, the swing from Todd, and Hopper with a good cutback. And brings it home. The New York Jets with a 28-21 lead on the Houston Oilers. We have been on a roller coaster throughout the day. And now the Jets will kick off. The 8-3 Houston Oilers, perhaps looking ahead in the earlier portion of this ball game, looking ahead to Cleveland next week at home, and Pittsburgh Thursday, the 4th of December, as they battle it out the AFC Central with the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cleveland Browns. Earl Campbell not a factor today. The Jets have held him in check. He's picked up only 60 yards, 15 carries. Aggravated that knee injury and has sat it out most of this second half. Ken Stabler with an atrocious first half, and all he's been intercepted 4 times, coming back strong in the fourth quarter to bring the Oilers right back, and now the Jets move out on top. And the kickoff by Leahy. Jeff Groth on the return across the 30. Groth, the second-year man out of Bowling Green, returning at 27 yards, hit down by Bobby Jones. Marv Albert along with Mike Hafner from Shea Stadium in New York. And Mike is making his way into the stands where he will chat with Jet fans about their ball club. That'll be coming up shortly. 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. Earl Campbell remains on the sideline. Tim Wilson, the lone D-back. And Stabler puts it up. And he completes to Renfro, who has had a spectacular fourth quarter. Jesse Johnson, the rookie out of Colorado. On the coverage, it's a first down for Mike Renfro at the 45-yard line. We now have 4 minutes remaining in this fourth quarter. Renfro comes to the right. Johnson is left. The lone setback is Wilson. And this is Wilson. And he picks up the first down. Stan Blinka making the stop. Now let's go down to Mike Hafner within the crowd here at Shea. Mike?
All right, we're down here with a lot of Jet fans who have seen a 2-9 season. Let's get a little reaction. What about it? What about Walt Michaels, the head coach?
I say, Skull brother to Walt Michaels. Skull brother. He's got Earl Campbell out there. He should be worried. He should be worried.
Has Michaels done a good job this season?
I don't think so. I don't think he has the leadership. I think he should be graded.
They've blown a couple leads. Will they blow it again?
Oh, nothing for me.
All right, let's go back up to Marv.
Back to the live action on the field. Mike Renfro, the intended receiver, covered by Jesse Johnson, so that'll set up a 2nd and 10 at the 45-yard line. And perhaps the game here today at Shea epitomizes the up and downs of this season for Walt Michaels. The Jets have had many opportunities in similar type ball games and have not come through. Walt Michaels has been the focal point of much controversy throughout this season here in the New York area. He has been severely criticized as of late in the media. This was supposed to be a big season for the New York Jets. Off the drafting of Johnny Lamb Jones, feeling was with the strong running game and what was thought to be an improved defense. Looked to be the year, what with Walker and Jones as the targets for Richard Todd, but it has not happened. And some of the player animosity against Michaels started to surface last year over that issue concerning who should be the number 1 quarterback, Richard Todd or Matt Robinson, has continued right here, went with the Jets off to the disappointing start. Mike Barber pushed out of bounds. Across the 40, pushed out by Stan Blinka. So 3:08 left in the fourth quarter. Jets leading 28-21. Let's go back to Mike Hafner. Mike, with fans in the crowd.
Thanks, Marv. We're down here with more Jet fans. Mr. Michaels and his club have found a way to be 2-9, and it looks tough now.
Yeah, it looks very tough.
How about Michaels' job?
Well, it looked up for Jimmy Carter, too, but we pulled through. I think Michaels might have the same results as Jimmy Carter.
Jet fans love to be on TV, Marv. Back up to you in the booth for the next play.
Yes, I noticed. 3rd and 2 at the 37. Off the draw. First down picked up by Tim Wilson. Stan Blinka making the stop. The New York Jets with a 21-0 lead going into this fourth quarter. And it looked to be very, very dim for the Houston Oilers, particularly without Earl Campbell on the sideline with that bruised knee. But Ken Stabler able to bring the Oilers right back to tie the game at 21, capping it off with the long bomb to former Jet Richard Castor. However, the Jets bouncing back off the 45-yard touchdown pass play to Bruce Hopper. Here's Barber. Barber down to the 20. And he has the first down. Greg Buddle making the stop. 2 minutes and 20 seconds remaining in this fourth quarter. And the Oilers with a steady march. They have a first down at the Jet 19-yard line, and Ken Stabler is now 31 for 49 for 362 yards. Now the 2-minute warning has been provided. So 2 minutes left in regulation with the Jets leading Houston 28-21. We'll be back right after these messages. Well, we welcome Mike Hafner back to the telecast booth as we look to capture some of the frustration by New York Jet fans this 1980 season.
That touchdown that put them ahead kind of calmed them down.
Yes.
Thank goodness.
Maybe fortunately for you.
Yes.
2 minutes left. First and 10 for Stabler. And down he goes. Good pass rush once again. Mark Gastineau, his third sack of the afternoon, and number 11 on the season.
There's that Jet defensive line that kept them in the game all day. They're going to make it very tough for Kenny Stabler, who can really run the 2-minute drill.
Mark Gastineau has been a terror here today, providing problems for right tackle Morris Towns, who was called on 4 separate occasions for holding infractions.
You know he's putting on a pass rush when you get flagged 4 straight times.
Timeout has been called by Houston. They have 2 remaining. The Jets with their 3 timeouts left. 1:55 remaining in this fourth quarter. The Jets leading the Oilers 28-21. It was 28-21 in a furious finish here at Shea Stadium. The Jets led 21-0 going to the fourth quarter, but Stabler has brought the Oilers back. Touchdown passes to Mike Barber, to White Shoes Johnson, and the bomb 68-yard pass to former Jet Richard Castor. However, the Jets came right back on a 45-yard touchdown. Richard Todd to Bruce Hopper. Right now, Stabler's second and 21. And fires it, and he has the completion. Inside the 10-yard line, Mike Barber has picked up the first down. Tim Moresco making the stop on Barber.
And that's where Kenny Stabler had to go, over the middle against the prevent defense. Second down in a bunch, and the master is something, Marvin. He has brought back his club from death, down 21-0, and they're knocking on the door inside the 10-yard line. First and goal to go, with a chance to tie this up and put it in overtime.
12-yard pickup for Stabler. Big game here for the Houston Oilers. 8 up and 3 down. Cleveland with the victory earlier at 8-4. Pittsburgh losing, so they are now 7 up and 5 down. And Houston looking to maintain sole possession of first place.
Kenny Stabler had an awful first 3 quarters, Marvin. Threw 4 interceptions. His club was down 21-0. Most quarterbacks that go in the tank, they say, well, this game's over with. But not Kenny Stabler. He plays it 1 down at a time, and he's the coolest man on the field.
But Stabler coming back strong in the second half. He now has completed for 385 yards, his best ever performance against the New York Jets, and he has once again found Mike Barber to his liking. Barber, off that last reception, now has caught 10 today for 54 on the season. 10 catches, 97 yards. Stabler has first and goal at the 9 with 1:45 left in this fourth quarter. And here is Tim Wilson, who has done very well in taking over for Earl Campbell. Wilson stopped by the combination of Blinkham and Crosby, and a timeout is called by Houston, so they are down to 1 timeout left. And when we resume following the timeout, the Oilers will have second and goal at the 5. Any more of this man, who was brought in to pick up a first down in the second half, he hurt his knee once again. He was held in check during the first half, as you saw, only 60 yards on 15 carries. The Jet gang tackling, doing a job on Earl Campbell, who was going for yet another 100-yard day.
I'll tell you, though, Bum Phillips standing right there with his main man, Earl Campbell. Next 2 weeks, they got Cleveland and Pittsburgh. I wouldn't want to waste that hoss right there.
Second and goal at the 5-yard line. Full house backfield. And here's Stabler with time. Touchdown! It's Richard Kastner again.
Look at Michael. Hands on his head, total frustration. Can you believe it, Marv? 28 points in the fourth quarter. Come back from the dead.
Richard Kastner beating Ken Troy. And once again, it will be up to Ted Thompson to tie it.
Look at the protection all day. Great pressure by the front four of the Jets. But if you give Kenny Stabler time, he'll get somebody open. And the old Jet comes back to haunt. 2 touchdown passes in a row to put the Oilers back in a tie situation. Here's another look at it. Look at how wide open Kastner is. And that's because of the pass protection.
And it has come down to Ted Thompson again, who has taken over for Tony Fritsch. And he puts it right through. Ted Thompson, who never before kicked in the National Football League, has come through in grand style. Tony Fritsch missed a field goal earlier. Has been bothered by a sore leg, and Thompson, who is an excellent all-around guy, can fill in at a number of positions. Obviously can kick.
Yeah, obviously. Four extra points that have put this game very close to overtime. What a second half of that quarter. Kenny, you are amazing. That's all I can say.
Well, Ken Stabler has quickly become a folk hero in Houston. He is enormously popular with fans, coaches, and players. They love him.
He's one of my favorites, too.
We are tied at 28, a minute and 31 remaining in regulation. In a game that will be long remembered by both clubs.
Oh, there is no doubt about it. Coming back from a 21-point deficit in the National Football League is almost unheard of until this year. With the change of the pass rules, I think it's given the opportunity for every club to score a lot of points. And one thing about this Houston Oilers club, they haven't been over 20 points very often in the games that they've won. 10-6 last week against Chicago.
And this has been a marathon. We are approaching 3.5 hours of football.
And it ain't over yet, Marv.
Jets with 3 timeouts remaining. Houston has used its timeouts up, and the kickoff by Thompson. Here's Harper, 20 to the 25. And able to squirm across the 30-yard line, bumped out by Booby Clark. Walt Michaels was claiming a face mask, but does not get the call.
He'll do anything for some field position. A field goal will win this football game. Maybe. Let's take a look. There's Harper on the return. Walt Michaels wants a face mask call in this play, and you see his head bob a bit. And then his neck snap around. Mr. Michaels had a good point there, but it's tough to see in that melee of bodies.
Minute 25 left regulation. Tied at 28. The Jets first down at their 32-yard line. Hopper and Newton are the running backs. And Todd to put it up on first down. Running out of traffic. And Todd has got the first down and more at midfield. Run out by the strong safety, Vernon Perry.
Oh, the example of a mobile quarterback. What he can do for you. Excellent coverage in the secondary by Houston. Not a very good pass rush by the Oilers, but good enough to force him out of the pocket. Yet the young, strong man from Alabama picked up a first down and got that much closer to field goal range.
It is a first down at midfield with a minute and 16 remaining. Again, we welcome people from across the nation. Marv Albert, Mike Hafner from Shea Stadium, Richard Todd head down at the line of scrimmage at midfield. Jesse Baker and Andy Doris of Houston doing the damage. The New York Jets took a 21-0 lead into the fourth quarter. Ken Stabler brought the Oilers right back. Jets have now called for time. Reason in the past, in this type of situation, Todd has not gone sideline, which is the usual you'd expect of a quarterback. Let's see what he does right here. This time he does go sideline and completes. That's a big one. Wesley Walker for the first down. Near the 30, J.C. Wilson, the left quarterback, making the stop. The crowd is screaming call for time. The Jets with 2 timeouts left. The clock is running. 45 seconds remaining. They're going to save the timeouts.
Oh, don't call one here. You don't want to give Stabler a chance to get him in field goal position.
And here is Todd. Again, he goes sideline. And let's see, did he catch it?
Yes.
It's Wesley Walker. A diving catch by Walker. Clock still running. The timeout is called with 24 seconds remaining.
What a pressure catch by Wesley Walker. Now you know why they've missed this young man all season. Richard Todd, a great throw. It's not going to be picked off because it's low. And Wesley Walker just cuddled it right to his chest and said, that, Mr. Leahy, is easy field goal position. That's exactly what they want, man. Going through his head right now. You know what he's saying? Somebody make a mistake, let him get in the end zone and score, so I don't have to kick the darn thing.
Jets pick up the first down. They have 1 timeout left. Houston has used its timeouts. Tied at 28. Jets at one time led 21-0. Wild football. That tells the story.
They might be happy in a few minutes if they can get a field goal in here. Don't take any chances now, Richard Todd. Run the football, get into position, run the clock down, and give Leahy his one shot to win it all. Even if he misses, they go into overtime and still have a chance to win it. No mistakes.
Jets first down at the Houston 21. You see the clock, 24 seconds left. And it's Bruce Hopper. Setting up a better angle for Leahy, getting to the middle of the field. Bingham and Brazil make the stop. Clock continues to run. They're setting up for the field goal.
You'll call timeout with 2 seconds somewhere in that area.
And now we get the timeout call. The clock is stopped with 6 seconds left, and it has come down to this. Bob Phillips can only watch now. He has no control.
None whatsoever. They'll go all out for the block, Marv. That's the only salvation they have. But Pat Leahy is definitely within his range.
For Pat Leahy, it will be his first field goal attempt of the day. He is 8 for 13 on the season. And like the Jets over the years, Pat Leahy has had his ups and downs. 6 seconds remaining in regulation here at Shea Stadium in New York. We're tied at 28. The Jets at one point led 21-0. Oilers coming back here in the fourth, and the Jets coming back. Matt Ryan will hold out at the 26. It's a 36-yard attempt for Leahy. Here it is.
Missed it.
It is no good.
Look at the frustration. Look at the frustration of head coach Walt Michaels. He can't believe it, Marv, and neither can the capacity crowd here. We got some overtime.
Leahy missing with 2 seconds remaining, and watch the reaction of Walt Michaels. Oh, no.
What a season for that man. I feel for him, Marv. I really do.
Earlier this season when Leahy was having problems, there were reports of a change to be made, although the Jets said no. And a big one missed here by Leahy. Now, the Oilers hold on the football to send it to overtime.
That man can't be happy, Marv.
And we go to overtime.
Here's the shot. This is well within any NFL kicker's range. And there's that bend that all sidewinders get, and it went outside the post. And now, here we go again. Here's a man who's 2-9 going in this game, and you can see it right there.
Now the coin toss out at midfield.
Jets won it.
So the Jets win the toss, and they will obviously receive.
And no Hafner Haynes
Yes.
here. Oh, Pat Leahy can feel it. He'll get another chance, maybe.
It is on to overtime here at Shea. The Jets and Houston tied at 28. The Oilers with a storybook comeback, engineered by Ken Stabler, and the Oilers doing it without Earl Campbell in the second half.
Sunday.
This tells it all. The New York Jets with 14 points in the first quarter. They lead 21-0 at halftime. They lead 21-0 going into the fourth. 28 points put up on the board by Stabler in that fourth quarter. We go to overtime, tied at 28. 15-minute overtime. Should they be tied at the end of the 15, that's the way it goes into the books, which would play havoc with the AFC Central standings. Each team will receive 2 timeouts, and there is a 2-minute warning.
I'm proud of the New York Jets, 2-9 coming in this game and battling their brains out. But how about this Houston Oilers club? They're a championship club to come back like they have.
And again, the kickoff by Ted Thompson. Paul Darby on the return and really wrecked, but a penalty marker down as he's clobbered across the 25-yard line. Paul Darby, who was just activated for the game today.
That was Guido Merkins that got the necktie. They're going to say it was a face mask, I'm sure. Merkins also just activated. Take a look. This is not the way to be stopped on a kickoff return. Look at Merkins. Arm out. Hello. And then grabbed the face mask at the end of the play. Had him clean with the necktie. And then got him by the face mask at the end. There's Guido Merkins. He can play everything. Quarterback, wide receiver, defensive back, punt returner.
Terrible thing for the Oilers to do to a fellow Texan. Darby is from Austin. Went to Southwest Texas State. In his
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, face mask on the tackle, first down.
All right, there's Guido.
Got him out of the penalty.
First down for the Jets at their 40-yard line. The running backs, Tom Newton, Bruce Hopper. That's Lamb Jones coming across. And Todd goes sideline. Looked like he hit him in the head. Wesley Walker slipped and fell, and he got it in the helmet, covered by Ted Washington and J.C. Wilson.
There is no excuse for a wide receiver falling down. That's what my coach has told me, and here's the price you pay. Bang, right alongside the head. A great shot. Watch Richard Todd. I can hear him mumbling under his breath now. Because he had him beat. He was wide open. He slipped and fell and got it right in the ear hole in the helmet.
Like we've certainly had our share of novel plays here this afternoon. 2nd and 10. Out of the 40-yard line. Opening minute. Overtime. Todd unleashes for Barkham, and it is deflected away, broken up. As he was double covered, but again, a penalty marker is down. Reinfeldt and Tatum on the coverage of Barkham has come up with 2 important receptions.
And Jack Tatum back there playing the nickel back. It'll be interesting to see where this penalty comes. The flag is not in the holding area, but guess what? Against the defense. Automatic first down. Very important to the Jets' drive for a field goal that'll win this game, but they've been there before.
Holding, number 33, defense, automatic first down.
Look at those penalties. The Jets have already tied a club record with 14 penalties called for 90 yards. Houston hit for 10 for 80 yards. First down.
There were a couple penalties that were refused. A lot of pressure on J.C. Wilson. You got to look at him. One-on-one with Wesley.
And that's Jones in motion. First down at the 45. The swing for Harper. Harper with a near to the first down mark. Bruce Hafner put a move on.
Richard Todd trying to get his field goal kicker, Pat Leahy, another chance to win this football game. He couldn't do it in regulation. They're moving towards Leahy's range again.
Stensrud, Brazil, and Hunt on the cover of Hopper. Picked up 9. It's a 2nd and 1 at the Houston 46. 1 minute in. Overtime. Tom Newton stacked up on the play by Elvin Bethea, and we'll have to wait and see where that ball spotted to be short. It's at the 45, and there is the man who must have all kinds of interesting thoughts, none positive at this point.
I bet he's hoping he gets another shot. I know he thinks he could make it. He wouldn't be in this league if he didn't.
I wonder, though. I think some guys don't want another shot. I mean that. I
might be right.
It's a 3rd and 1. And that time, Newton slamming through to pick it up. So the Jets collect the first down. We're tied at 28. Jets at 1 point led 21-0. Houston came roaring back, led by Ken Stabler in a turnaround from the forgettable first half, and saw the Jets capitalize on 5 Houston turnovers, 3 Stabler interceptions. 2 minutes gone by in overtime. First down at the Houston 43 again. Lamb Jones in motion. Hopper off the swing to the 40. And Hopper still on his feet across the 30. Ken Kennard, the middle guard, making the play, and it appears that running back Tom Newton of the New York Jets is shaken up. We'll get back to the moment as we watch Hopper with a gorgeous run.
The slip screen, and 2 Oilers fell down. There's a missed tackle. Bruce Harper does an outstanding job, and the result is field goal range, and it only takes 1 score to win it in overtime.
Hopper with 3 receptions, 73 yards, and has been a major factor in keeping the Jets alive after the Oilers came back. Well, should this game carry through the overtime, and should we end in a deadlock, a tie would be most intriguing, and there's no way of really making a judgment until the end of the season. Right now, Tom Newton is apparently all right, although he heads to the sidelines. Kevin Long has come on. It's a first down for the Jets at the Houston 26.
And they'll stay on the ground if they're smart.
And they do stay on the ground. Bruce Hopper driven back. Ed Kennard. Mike Stensrud. On the stop at the 24, so a 2-yard gain. And it will make for 2nd and 8. And Newton is all right. He is back. Come on for Kevin Long. Walt Michaels looking more comfortable with the combination of Hopper and Newton, although Durkin and Long did well in the first half. Plus, he likes Hopper as a receiver. Here's Lamb Jones coming left.
Oh, I don't believe this one.
Well, he throws it out of bounds.
Now I do.
Good rush by the Oilers. They are labeling Harper as the intended receiver, but he was nowhere in sight. Richard Todd is now 13 for 26, 236 yards, 1 touchdown, and he has been intercepted twice. We are in overtime. 11:27 remaining of the overtime session, and we're tied at 28.
No matter who wins this football game, I don't think anybody loses. The Jets have put out a great effort against maybe one of the better teams in the AFC. On the other hand, Houston has proved themselves they can come back if they get way down.
Here is 3rd and 8, and Hopper trying the left side is rammed out right near the 20 by Robert Brazil, and it has come down to this man. Once again, Pat Leahy.
Missed from 36 the first time. This time it'll be 37 if they mark it at the 20.
is now 8 for 14 on the season in field goal attempts. This is only his second attempt of the day.
We know what happened on the first one.
Pat Ryan will hold. This is a 38-yard attempt. He is 2 for 7 from this range. It is all on his shoulders. And Leahy's kick is good. It's all over. Houston Oilers in overtime. Some 4 minutes in. The Jets win it 31-28. Walt Michaels showing us a smile as he and Bump Phillips come together. And the New York Jets are now 3 up and 9 down. In overtime, the Jets beat Houston 31-28, and we'll be back after these messages.